Good evening, football fans, and welcome to the Bison. What are we exactly? This is
Capital City Bison's football.
Yeah, this is Capital City Bison's football. I'm Daniel Chancellor alongside Kevin McAdams. He is our producer, color commentator. He's the man pretty much doing everything other than talking. I get to just sit back, talk, and try to give you guys the best play-by-play we can. We hope you guys are ready for a great football game. We've got a good one lined up for you. The Central Texas Tigers have come into town to face off against our Capital City Bison.
That's right, and this is actually a first for me working in this league.
Yeah.
So can't say I know a lot about either one of the teams,
right.
Except what you know about players at this level in general. It's minor league football. Some may refer to it as semi-pro. Some may refer to it as amateur. My understanding is in this league they don't care for either one of those terms.
Well, that's fine.
So it is minor league pro football, but you're seeing a lot of guys who are basically just here still playing the game of football for love of the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody played in high school. Many played in college. Some had good careers, some not so good. And in no other sport are you going to see guys who are going to come out here and put it all on the line and hit hard, go fast, and leave it all out on the field simply for the love of the game.
And if you're a football junkie like we are, and you know the Super Bowl's over, the NCAA championships are over, there's no more high school football. What a great way, what a great transition to get that football fever taken care of while you get ready for summer, or actually waiting for the fall to come around.
Well, Fox rebooted the USFL, but that's still like 2 weeks away.
It's still only an 8-team league, though, and it's still only a few weeks. It's not. It will still, yes, it will. It suffice, yes, but this is hometown stuff right here.
This is hometown stuff, and if you've ponied up to watch this broadcast, chances are that you know some of these guys on the field. So we're going to do our best to do this justice and bring it to you. So, without really, and we don't really have a lot of scouting information right now.
True,
so please bear with us. We're going on our own, but we did see a couple of faces and maybe a couple of names we recognize. One in particular you were mentioning before.
Yeah, I saw a name on the roster, Byron Sadalaki. He played for the Central Texas Wolfpack for that first responder football team.
Yeah.
And, of course, I used to do play-by-play for them back a couple of years ago. Actually, it was about 3 years in a row before they finally disbanded the team a couple of years ago. But saw his name on the roster, so ran down there, of course, had to say hi to him. And I can't help but, as I look through these rosters for both these teams, I'm pretty sure I know a couple of these guys. It's just been a while since I've seen seen them with their helmets on. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of good. There's going to be some good football too.
Yeah, we're going to try some things technically here tonight as well. We have a camera on the sideline as well as the camera here in the booth on our ugly faces. Camera up here in the press box.
And by the way, Bison fans, just so you know, we, as Kevin and I, prefer to stay off camera as much as possible. This is a request of ownership for the Bison. So if you want to write in letters say, why are you torturing us with these two guys? We just want to watch football. You let them know this wasn't our idea.
I'm okay with it.
Well, that's fine.
I'm okay with it. But as long as we're talking here in the pregame, let's go ahead and cycle through the different views we're going to have for you tonight. Of course, and you can turn around. We're off that one right now. But of course, we do have a sideline camera, and our sideline cameraman is
Nicholas Pavlik.
Nicholas Pavlik
Yep.
will be our sideline camera operator tonight. And then, of course, we've got the eye in the sky, the key shot from the press box, and that is Zach. What is Zach's last name?
Zachary Langley.
Zachary Langley.
Yep.
So that is your Bison football crew for tonight, and hopefully we'll have these young men with us all season long. We're going to be doing the remaining home games of the season. So we'll be here, and then next week is a bye week.
I believe that's correct.
Easter weekend, and then we'll be back here at Dragon Stadium. And this is Dragon Stadium, by the way, on the campus of Round Rock High School. We are in the Dragon's Lair, and Chance and I, having been, we are veterans of Central Texas High School football. We've both been in this booth so many times over the years.
Yeah,
and
it kind of feels like even though this has never been our home booth,
right.
We've been here enough times that it feels like we're home.
Right. When there's not a broadcast in here, this place was outfitted by the Boosters. It's got a Round Rock Dragons helmet on the door. You can't see the counter, but it's like got this cool graphic and stuff on it. So it's fitting that the home team broadcast is in the home box, and this is a place where Chance and I have both seen so much triumph and also so much heartbreak.
Yeah, that's true.
Over the years, and we'll see which one we see tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these teams will have that. One of those, actually, but one. Yeah, they're going to have that moment here tonight, and we are just under 7.5 minutes away from kickoff here. The teams have been out warming up for a while. There's no one on the field right now, obviously, based on the view you've got right now, but we're looking forward to this one. The energy was very, very high earlier during warm-ups by both teams. But the Bison have this nice little tradition. Everybody lined up in between the hashes here on the near sideline. And I didn't get to catch the whole thing, but it was this whole, it's just, you felt the energy. They were building up. So it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the Bison will have their hands full with the Central Texas Tigers. They've got, from the looks of things, they've got some really good talent on this roster. So we'll see if the Bison can walk out of here on their second home game of the season with victory.
Yeah, and also we are going to attempt instant replay tonight. Just a quick replay of important plays tonight. I'm not going to lie to everybody. This is something new to our broadcast system.
That's true.
So it's something I actually upgraded the broadcast software so we could do this tonight. So we're going to work on it tonight, and hopefully that's something that's going to grow as we move along. And for us, if it's something that works out well here on the Bison's broadcast, then it's definitely something we can add all across the line in everything we do.
Sure.
Speaking of who we are, of course, this is Bison's football, and I don't know what we call it, the Bison Broadcast Network, Bison TV.
Well, technically, it's the McAdams Broadcast Company.
No. We are the production company.
Oh, excuse me.
And what I was going to say is my name is Kevin McAdams, and my company is the McAdams Company, LLC, and it is us who is bringing you this live stream tonight. The Bisons approached us, like a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's been about.
And said, man, we would love to have you guys out to work on our games. We've seen your work. We think you're doing all right. So here we are. And I like it. I really do.
Yeah, ironically, Jeremy actually reached out to me a couple of years ago on Facebook Messenger and said, hey, man, I know you guys worked with the Wolfpack in the past. Kind of curious about if you could do the same thing for us. And then, of course, COVID hit, and that just kind of put a stamp on everything to kind of just a big stop sign on it. So it's just it's good to have the opportunity to be back up here in the booth for the Bison, and they reached back out to us, and I'm really glad Jeremy did. I really am. So we appreciate it.
And you can see a shot from the sideline right now. And I don't know if you can make out the clock. The sun is actually hitting the scoreboard right now. So I've got us zoomed in on the clock and the scoreboard there in the lower right of your screen.
Yep, just about 4 minutes away.
About 4 minutes away. Don't see either team coming out yet. Oh, there we go.
All right,
Tigers, so there's the Tigers over there.
Yep, they're about to come out. It looks like.
I think we can go ahead and raise our blinds now.
The Tigers coming out in their best LSU-looking uniforms, the white unis with the yellow and purple pinstriping. Our Central Texas, the Capital City Bison will be in pretty much solid purple here tonight.
And I think the home locker rooms are there, so they're out of our camera view right now.
Yeah, at the moment.
But the Bison should be coming out in just a moment. The officials are on the field.
And there you go. We start to give you a shot of the Tigers making their way out into the field. Not a big production at all. We're just going to come out and get things started, I think. I don't know. Not even the big paper to run through or anything.
Not even the big paper to run through. And to people who are used to watching Central Texas high school ball.
Oh, yeah.
Or college ball, this can be quite anticlimactic.
Sometimes.
It really can't.
Until the football game starts.
That's where I was going with that. Until the game starts, then you know you're watching football.
Yeah, this is one of those leagues that it's got a lot of history in it. It actually has one of the older semi-pro teams, or whatever we are calling them.
I believe that the proper word is minor league football.
Minor league teams. I should apologize. That was the Central Texas, or the Austin Vipers. They've been around a long time, and I think the Vipers have actually been pretty important for starting the minor league football scene here in the Central Texas area.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I could be wrong, but, they used to be broadcast back on the OKMAC days and stuff like that. So, and, they've been around a long time.
I may have produced one or two of those broadcasts back in the day. But
I know I did one for sure. So.
Now, what I don't remember is do we do national anthem or?
I don't remember either. Man, it's crazy when you step away from the spring football scene for a season or two. You kind of fall out of the rhythm and forget what happens next.
Okay, so the Dragons are actually down there on the right. Or the Dragons, I'm sorry.
Bison.
The Bison are actually down there on the right. You can see them coming in. They should be coming in, crossing your view just in front of the scoreboard.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there we go.
Capital City Bison.
Well done, Zach. Good shot. And you see a nice view from the sideline camera. Excellent work by Nick. Unfortunately, that glitching you see is a function of distance.
Yeah.
And actually, these transmitters that we use actually work a little bit better after the sun goes down. Kind of like old CB radios.
Right, yeah.
So we'll do our best with that tonight. So the Bison huddled up at midfield. Not sure who the captains are going to be tonight, but even when we do high school games, we usually don't know that till they step out. One other thing to note in a lot of these leagues, they do play full 15-minute quarters, just like the pros in college. This team, this league, they're playing 12. I think that's also a function of maybe a twofold function. Maybe a concession to the age of some of the players, maybe.
That's true. And
also to the fact that when you rent a high school facility from the local school district, you only get it for so long.
Yeah, that's true. And obviously, if you can shorten your time out on the field, that gives you more time to get things boxed up and get things locked up and get out of here as quickly as possible. So my other question will be if it's a running clock. Because a lot of times you're already taking some time off, making it 12-minute quarters. So I'm very interested to see if they will keep it a running clock or if we will have stoppages for incomplete passes and things like that.
I was at a Leander Wolfpack. I helped to produce a Leander Wolfpack game a couple of years ago, back in fall of 20, and we were at AC Bible Stadium out in Leander, and at 10 o'clock the lights went out.
Oh, really? They're like, okay, time to go.
No, it turned out it was on an automated timer.
Oh, okay. Well, still.
Yeah. So they were able to went ahead and called the game and said, all right, that's it. Because, we were like halfway through the fourth quarter. But the point is that, oh, no, I'm sorry. Wow, they just set the clock to 15.
They sure did. Holy cow. Yeah, well, they did have it at 12 the entire pregame while they were warming up, except for the countdown to kickoff. So I'm a little confused too. So,
well, you know what? We're new here.
We're learning as we go.
We're new here. We're learning as we go.
We do have, I can see our captains for the Capital City Bison. We've got number 2, Devontae Jones, number 0, Barrett Graves, number 5, Alvin Smith, and number 7, Josh Harris.
And we haven't been given positions on the Bisons.
No, unfortunately we don't. I know 7, Josh Harris is quarterback. I saw that during warm-ups.
Now, that is a name I seem to remember as well.
Yeah,
Did he not play high school ball in this area?
I have no idea, sir. Unfortunately, we don't have too much background on anyone.
That sounds like a quarterback name, Josh Harris. It just does. Sounds like we're getting a lot of buzz off that crowd mic.
It is right below you on your left side there. Look out your side window there.
Okay.
Can't quite see who the captains for the Central Texas Tigers are just yet. There are a group of about 6 players at the 50-yard line standing just near the sidelines, so it's kind of hard to tell who's going to be the captain and who isn't unless they're going to send all 5 or 6 of those young men out. I say young men. I'm so used to doing high school football when we're doing football. So,
well, most of them are, I don't know if they're younger than us or older than us. But, you were talking about there was a
Byron down there. He's an old man.
He's older than us, right?
He's an old man. But I tell you what, if you're ever curious what kind of guy goes down here to play, minor league. Am I saying it right? Minor league football.
Minor league football.
Check out Byron Seldick on his social media pages. He likes to post him in the gym doing his deadlifts and everything. And he's always around the 500, 600-pound mark. So even at 60-something years old, Byron is very capable of playing this football game.
Oh, wow. Can't wait to see that. So it looks like the opposing coaches are actually out having a talk with the referees.
As soon as we get whatever they're trying to get worked out on the field at the 50-yard line, we will get this ball game underway.
So also, this all kind of coming together at the last minute. We know that the Bison have sponsors. We just did not get any information on them in time for broadcast tonight. So if you are a Capital City Bison sponsor, thank you.
Yeah, not quite sure what the conversation at the 50-yard line is, but they're definitely get some things worked out.
There we go. Zach's going to zoom in a little bit more on that. Head coach for the Tigers, Billy J. Clark Jr.
Yeah, it's nice to have the position coaches for the Tigers. I wish we'll get with the Bison and see if they can't provide that for us next home game. Yeah, you can even hear the fans getting a little ready to go here. Pretty good turnout. My experience with spring football is that you get the close friends and family and things like that to show up, which is wonderful. But the general public very rarely makes it out to these types of events because, unfortunately, a lot of these leagues don't get promoted very much. And
no, they don't.
And it is a horrible, horrible shame because you are missing out on some wonderful football. We're glad you're tuned in. We're glad that you're joining us here tonight on the football broadcast. But if it was possible for you to keep the broadcast going while driving here, you need to do that. Play whatever it is, whatever the small amount is, to get through the gate and come watch this game live because it is definitely worth it.
So now we can see the captains coming out for the Tigers. I recognize one, number 3, quarterback Justin Jordan. They do have 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
Number 10, Jaquil A. Lott. Number 81. I don't have an 81, but I see an 81. Quite a few captains for the Tigers here tonight.
One thing to remember, too, these
38 is Bashad Thompson, safety and cornerback for the Tigers. Go ahead, Kevin. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, I don't know about these 2 particular teams in particular, but my experience in prior leagues that I've worked in is that in many cases, the players are paying for their own kit.
Yeah, and that's the case for a lot of these guys. They have to unfortunately put in a little money of their own to be able to strap the cleats up, and that's just like you were saying. That's why these guys play, because they're playing for the love of the game. They're not getting the big paychecks here. They're not getting the minimal salary of $250,000 like they get in the NFL. So
I mean, they're getting something, but it
getting
ain't
something,
nowhere
but
close to that.
No, unfortunately, but a lot of these guys, they do this because this is an opportunity for them to get on tape. Somebody here is videoing this,
right?
Or somebody is going to take this video that we're producing for them tonight and probably cut it up a little bit and try to produce some film to get out there for the USF, the new football leagues,
and the XFL.
The XFL,
the Rock is cooking up the XFL again. I can't believe I can't believe someone's going to try to get that going for the third time. But the Bison
are going to defend the north end zone and receive, while the Tigers will kick off and defend the south end zone. So the Bison will be going left to right on your microwave screen or whatever you happen to be watching us on, and the Tigers will start out going right to left. That was actually 61, not 81, so I got that guy. Carl Robert McCann Vickers. Well, Mr. Vickers, I tell you what, you need to pick a couple of names because your roster is all crowded thanks to you. Might want to take a couple of those names off of that name. All right. So there was at least 5 or 6 of them out there for the Tigers. We were able to only get you 4. And now let's see who's getting ready to return some kickoff here for our Bison. Looks like number 16, Emmanuel Davis. And it's a single-digit number. Unfortunately, he's got his jersey pulled up, so I can't tell who that is. Kicking off for the Tigers is going to be number 98. You're going to get to say his name. Go right ahead, number 98.
Oh, for the Tigers, number 98.
Yes, oh, 88.
88.
No, I think it is 98.
Shaquise Until right?
Back deep for the Bison, number 36.
No, that's going to be 98. He's just his jersey
98.
scratched up. It is 98.
Kamwela C. Numazawa? Numazawa?
Bless you.
Kicking off, number 98 for the Central Texas.
See, even the PA announcer came and say his name. I don't feel so bad now. Of course, you're kind of a wizard when it comes to that. You just look at a name and can say it.
I've watched a lot of hockey.
Oh, well, that helps. That definitely helps. So one of the deep returners is moved up a little bit for the Bison. We only have a single man back deep at the 5-yard line. Again, can't quite see his number.
Bison 1-1 on the year, winning their opener and losing at Leander last week.
Recovered at the 18-yard line and decides to do a late return up the sideline at the 40. Finally gets shoved out of bounds. See where the official spots. He was going to be at the 40-yard line. Nice little return there.
And the clock is running. So,
yeah, 15 minutes in a running clock. This will be a quick ball game, folks. So the Bison will start things off looking good here on a nice return. Started at the 18, got all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Capital City Bison will set up shop on the 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bison football coming to you right here with 14:09 left to go here in the first quarter. First play of the game after the kickoff. Harris in the shotgun, looks back, fakes the handoff, rolls out left, in trouble, dumps it off, and off the fingertips of his intended target, number 8. Dontex Garner, unfortunately, couldn't come up with that one.
And I am sorry, I am trying to get instant replay to work, and it's not.
It's off, and off
there
the
it went.
fingertips of his intended target, number 8.
Just in time to replay the.
Dontex Garner.
All right, we'll get that going.
Unfortunately, couldn't come up with that one. 2nd and 10 now for the Capital City Bison after the incomplete pass. Clock still running at just under 13 and a half minutes, 3 wide. Harris barking out some last-minute orders. Need to get to the 50-yard line. Showing blitz. Pitch out left side, and with some great patience, number 41, Eric Love, finds a small hole, able to get 3 yards on the carry. That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Now, see, there's another name that I seem to remember from local high school football. And the clock is continuing to run, so we're already almost down to 12 minutes.
So, yeah, this will be a really quick ball game. They're actually only going to spot Love with 1 yard, so this will be 3rd and 9, excuse me. Obvious passing down here is an empty backfield for Harris. With this, offsides. That'll be a free play. It won't be a first down, but it will be 5 yards for the Bison, and it'll make that 3rd and 3 instead of 3rd and 9. Or 3rd and 4, I should say. Simple math escapes me at the moment.
Flag on the play. Official indication. Offsides on the defense.
Third and 4 now for the Bison, as they are now up to the 46-yard line. And looking for a pass near far side. In and out of the hands of his intended target, number 18, Carl Stewart, unable to come up with that one. And that'll bring up a very, very important 4th down. We'll see if the Bison decide to go for it here or if they just decide to punt it away since it's fairly early in the ball game. And it does look like the punting unit will come out for the Bison.
4th down and 4.
Down to 11:05 and counting.
Josh Harris back to punt.
Harris will stay in to be the punter for the Bison. This also sets the Bison up for a great trick play. And able to get this one off, a high spiraling kick. And it'll bounce around the 25-yard line and take a small Bison bounce up to the 21. And that is where the Tigers will take over on their first offensive possession with 10:42 left to go here in the first quarter.
And you saw the camera was on the sideline camera, went a little crazy there for a second. Nick is in the process of moving down to the other end of the field. Man, I am so glad you brought these young men to work with us tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. We appreciate them coming out and helping out. So hopefully we can – I know for sure we've got Nicholas for the season. We'll see what we can do about having Zachary around.
Central Texas Tigers set up on
so he works for food, right?
But I guarantee you could probably convince both these guys to work for a couple of cheeseburgers.
All right, the Tigers get ready to open up.
Yep, here's the first offensive possession. A little screen pass out to the far side is going to go for nothing. The quarterback, number 3, Justin Jordan, it off and off the fingertips of his intended target, number 8, and will bring up 2nd and 13 for the Tigers. Context Garner, unfortunately,
there we
couldn't
go.
come
So
up
the
with that
replay
one.
is working now. We'll go ahead and get back on the live shot. So now we just need a really big play.
Yeah, exactly. Big defensive play here would be nice as we're looking at this 2nd and 13. Bison defense showing a little blitz as the Tigers quarterback Jordan rolls out of trouble, finally gets rid of it at the very last minute. Looks like he was looking for his running back here on the far near side, number 28, Tommy White, but unfortunately couldn't make the connection. That'll bring up 3rd and 13, excuse me, for the Tigers.
Third down and 13.
3rd and 13 on their own 17. And the clock is stopped. Did we get a timeout? Yes, I believe we did get a timeout.
And it's going to be the Bison who'll take the first timeout of the game with 9.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. I guess we'll take a quick little timeout with them to let our voices take a little break. We'll be right back here to Bison football after this quick timeout.
All right, both teams coming out onto the field after the Bisons having a little bit of time to talk about defensive things. 3rd and 13 on their own 17 for the Tigers. Snap, quarterback throws back to pass. Doesn't have anybody open downfield. Now he's running for his life as the pursuit chases him down the line.
He gets rid of it. Wow, at the very last second.
Now, was that a...
Now they're showing him out.
He's out of bounds,
at the 20.
And that's going to bring up the first 4th down. Now, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
You are the play-by-play man. I just...
we're all trying to get all the little bugs worked out here in the broadcast, so we're all trying to get things running as smoothly as possible. We appreciate everybody being patient with us as we bring you this one. And the punt is away from the Tigers, and it is caught at the 43-yard line. It is a big return here by the Bison past the 50 in Tiger territory, pushed out of bounds. It's at roughly the Tiger 44-yard line.
Correction, that was Connor Kosick on the ball carrier. Indication offsides on the kicking team.
So there was a penalty against the kicking team. So the Bison are going to ask for a re-kick. The Tigers are going to get pushed all the way back. The punter will be in his own end zone now. 9:08 on the clock as we work out the penalty here. And here's the snap, and the punt is away, but another flag comes in. This is the 3rd penalty of the ball game, 2 of them against the Tigers. False start is going to go against the Tigers. That'll push the punter back even further, so 4th and 16 will become 4th and 21.
And we're going to have a 4th and about 25.
So after 2 penalties on the special teams unit, the Tigers are trying to get this one away and almost blocked. It causes a bad punt, and that's going to take a Bison bounce deeper into Tiger territory. And the Bison will start out with phenomenal field position at the 25-yard line on the Tiger side of the field. So 8:52 left to go here in the first quarter. And we are looking at a 1st and 10 from the Central Texas Tigers 25-yard line for our Bison. Bison with an extremely short field to work with.
Yeah, penalty in the Tiger backfield.
So we're now looking at a, how is it the Tigers first? I'm a little confused. Did the Tigers get possession back after the punt?
Handoff up the middle to number 1.
I apologize. I've been
I was trying to work
working
with one
on
of
technical issues.
Yeah, I was talking with one of our camera operators, so I was trying to.
Correction, number 7.
So I don't know what happened on the punt return. I know that the ball bounced backwards back toward Texas Tiger territory.
About 2 yards on the
I'm not
play.
sure if it touched a
Second
Bison
down,
or not, but
13.
apparently that's exactly what happened. So the Tigers were able to get possession back, got a new set of downs. They got a false start called against them, which made it 1st and 15. They get 2 yards on their first play, and now we're looking at a 2nd and 13. The handoff here near side, and the Bison defense is all over it with the huge, and the ball is on the turf. 35 scoops it up. The whistles are calling it dead. But the Bison defense swarmed all off and off the fingertips of his intended target, that run play. Dontex Bison think they should be their football. Couldn't come up with that one. I have a tendency to agree with them from up here in the booth. That looked like a fumble. It does stop the clock at 7:55. Rolling out near side, trying to get rid of it, making some plays with his feet, extending the play up to the 30. Flag comes in toward the end of the play. Kind of looked like could have been a holding call as the quarterback Thomas Mack Arnold Jr. kept the ball
Flag on the play.
for the Tigers. .755 on the clock. Bison defense still on the field as we were looking at a very long 3rd down after the penalty. So the Central Texas Tigers are now set up on their own 9-yard line with a 3rd and Georgetown to go.
Georgetown.
That's pretty far from him. That's a pretty big 3rd down right here. 3rd and 25. There's the snap. Finally chunks it, middle of the field, overthrows his intended target.
Intended for
Number 17, Stephen Mitchell, the intended target for the Tigers. Can't come up with it, so a big 4th down here, and this will still put the Bison in really good field territory once the Tigers get this punt off. Punter deep in his own end zone, trying to get this one out for the Tigers without it getting blocked. A flag comes in at the end of the punt. It bounces at the 35, takes a Tiger bounce, and keeps rolling to about the 44, make that the 43-yard line. We'll see what the flag is. It could be sideline interference by the Bison. It looks like actually they're going to get the Bison with too many men on the field. It looks like they had 12. Still a little confusion there trying to figure things out. It looks like it will be a penalty going against the Bison. For too many men on the field. It'll be marked off after the punt return, though. Sitting at 7:31 on the clock here in the first quarter. And the flag is waved off, so no flag at all. Sideline judge thought there was too many players on the field. Quick consultation, he realized he was counting one too many based on, it looks like, just because he was standing very close to the sideline. So now things are back underway here. The Bison starting from the Tigers' 43-yard line. 1st and 10, 7:31 left to go here in the first quarter. 4 wide receivers. Pistol formation for Harris. Tigers still showing blitz and looking to throw, dumps it off near side, batted down at the line of scrimmage by number 44, Lester Walker, coming in with a big defensive slap to get that ball to the turf. That actually could have been, I apologize, it was number 94, Joseph Turner Jr., coming off the defensive end position.
Joseph Turner breaking that pass up.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Bison with 7:26 left to go in the first. Nice moves there by the running back as he gets out of 3 tackles and finally gets taken down at the 35-yard line. That is a big run and shaking off tackles left and right to get there.
That was Eric Love, the ball carrier.
3 wide, the handoff goes to Love again, up the middle, makes a couple of guys miss, bounces it back inside and drags a couple of guys with him down to the 21. That's a first down for the Bison and close to the red zone. 6:50 left to go here in the first. Dantex Garner think they should be their football. Now we'll come up with that one. With the timeout on the field. And it'll be a timeout by the Tigers. Both teams taking their first timeouts of the half, leaving them both with 2. 6:43 left to go. Nothing for either team, but the Bison are on the move. We'll take a quick little break and bring it right back up for this timeout. Timeout has come to an end, and both teams are back out on the field ready to go. 6:43 left to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 after the big run play by Eric Love to set him up at the 21-yard line. 4 wide receivers, single back behind Harris. Harris hands it off to Love again. Love's in trouble, but just a little backpedal, finds some room to the near side, up the sideline, and finally gets shoved out of bounds inside the 15. Flag comes in late.
Would that be shoving while shove time was over?
I believe so. Might have been a little bit by the wide receiver and the cornerback here behind the play. Love had already gotten up past the 15, and it looked like a little extra action here on the near sideline. It looks like they are going to mark it off against the Bison.
On the offense.
So that big penalty negates the big first down that they had gotten to set them up inside the 20. A big first down run to set them inside the 20, I should say. So now we're looking at a 1st and 24, 25.
First and about 50.
4 wide receivers for the Bison. Offsides by the Tigers, so this will be a free play as the running back gets hit in the backfield. Luckily gets back to the line of scrimmage, and even better that it'll be a 5-yard penalty marked off against the Tigers. So Kalen Bright, who was handling the rock just then, although does get tripped up, it'll be a positive result thanks to the penalty.
Offsides, defense. Still remains first down.
So 1st down still for the Bison. First and 15 from the 30-yard line. Tiger side of the field. Harris has 3 wide receivers far side. There's the snap and the handoff. Met in the backfield by the defense for the Tigers. Good job by the running back, number 5, Alvin Smith, to just lower his shoulder, deliver a boom of his own. He got back to the line of scrimmage.
Bring up a 2nd down situation for the Bison.
5:50 left to go here in the first quarter. 30-yard line. There's the snap. Harris looking to throw the ball. Does far side. Has a man in his hands and outside of bounds at the 5-yard line. Beautiful catch for a 1st down and gets the Bison inside the red zone. 1st and goal at the 5.
That was number 6, Jamari Perry, the receiver. 1st and goal.
Bison finding a way to move the ball against this Tiger defense. Tigers have been blitzing well, trying to get pressure on Harris. Harris staying patient in the pocket, just like this right here. Gets rid of the ball before going down. Does take a hit after the throw. Ball falls safely to the turf, incomplete, making this 2nd and goal from the 5. 5:08 left to go here in the first quarter. Bison step back up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal. Harris snaps the ball. They're looking to run it up the middle and diving forward, get inside the 5-yard line. Again, number 33, Kalen Bright, diving forward, getting a couple on that one.
Justin Thomas. 3rd and goal.
They're going to officially mark the Bison at the 4-yard line. And we will have another timeout on the field taken by the Tigers. This will be their 2nd charge timeout of the half. So defense in a little bit of trouble here for the Tigers. The Bison offense doing well, trying to find that hole to put a crooked number on the board as they are inching their way toward the goal line. Big 3rd down play here for the Bison after this timeout.
So I'm back with you now. What'd I miss? Sorry, I've been working out technical things over here. But
the Bison doing a really good job right now moving the ball. They've gotten a little penalty trouble, but they've managed to get their way out of it. One big pass play down to the 5-yard line, and now they are knocking on the door, sitting at the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal. 4:43 left to go here in the first quarter. So let's see if the Bison can make something happen here. I'm sure they want more than just 3 points. So after the Tiger timeout, the Bison come out with an empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. Officiating staff trying to get their and there's the snap. Harris looking for a pass and does. Got his man in the back of the end zone. Number 83, Trevor Dell Jr. with the first points of the day for the Capital City Bison. That makes it 6-0 with 4.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Extra point try coming up. Number 13, Kenner Kokic, looks like he's on to attempt the extra point for the Bison. Number 2, Devonta Jones will be the holder. And actually the Bison huddling up here before this extra point try makes us think they might be going for a 2-point conversion here. And now the Bison will take a timeout. This will be their second charge timeout of the half with 4:27 left to go here. So a little confusion early, I think, by both these teams. Trying to make sure they get everything right. Great job by Harris on that touchdown pass. Sent enough men out there and just found the hole in the zone. Able to get 6 points on the board. Goal here. Put that exclamation point on it with the extra point try or the 2-point conversion and get that defense back out there that's been playing really, really well so far. Great penetration in the backfield, breaking plays up. Not allowing the wide receivers to get cleanly into the breaks. Timeout has come to an end, and it does look like we will have an extra point try. Jones the holder, Kokic the kicker.
Bison setting up for an extra point attempt.
And it is going to be a fake, but the defense for the Tigers sniffed it out quickly, breaks it up, and that will keep the ball game at 6-0 in favor of the Bison. 4:21 left to go here in the first quarter. Kickoff is coming. CTX Tigers, I think they should be their football. Couldn't come up with that one by the Bison. I have a tendency to agree with them from up here in the booth. That looked like a fumble. It does stop the clock at 7:55. I like what the coach did there for the Bison. I think it was, I mean, right now both defenses are kind of been the power horses here in this game. So I like what coach decided to do there with the 2-point conversion. I just think maybe it would have been better to go ahead and just line up and run it instead of try some little trick, extra point try thing. I don't know. Maybe the Tigers were all over it, though. The Tigers sniffed it out, no pun intended. But, yeah, they did a really good job. So now the Bison will kick off for the first time today. And number 13 will stay on the field to pull kicking duties here, Connor Kokic. Back deep to return for the Tigers, number 5, Jarvis Deontay Elder.
Taking off for the Bisons. Jarvis Elder back deep for Central Texas.
Kokic puts a foot into it.
And the kick is up.
Low end over end, bounces it around the 8-yard line, returned by number 22, hit at the 15, reverses direction and brings it back near side and is going to be taken down around the 15-yard line. Flag comes in during it. They return. Number 22 for the Tigers. That was number 22, Atavanius Barber. So after the kickoff return, Clock is ticked down to 4:03. Bison leading the Tigers 6-0 here in the second home game of the season for the Bison. As Kevin said earlier, 1-1 on the season right now, so trying to break that 500 mark.
Tigers setting up shop on about the 8-yard line, first and 10.
So next offensive drive for the Tigers starts now. The Bison showing blitz, able to get back. Oh, no, a flag does come in, but the Bison sniff out the run, stand the running back up at the 2-yard line. So it's going to be a loss on the play pending the flag. It's going to be a big loss on the play of about 5 yards.
Ouch.
But it does go against the Bison. Be a 5-yard penalty. So what could have been a 2nd and 15 is now going to be a 1st and 5 for the Tigers. Tigers show 4 wide receivers, single back in the backfield. Jordan in at quarterback still for the Tigers. All day in the backfield to find an open man. Finally in trouble. He's in the end zone. If he doesn't get out of there, that's going to be a safety. Finally gets rid of it. Has him. The nearest man is number 88. Shaquis Centel Wright, the intended target on that one. You got to give Justin Jordan props, though. He was in the end zone for a long time. 2 purple jerseys all over him. Finally able to get that pass away. But the Bison almost had that 2-point conversion they didn't get after the touchdown.
Personal foul on the defense.
So after the great defensive play, we will now have a defensive personal foul, which will give the Tigers a new set of downs at their own 28-yard line. The Bison, the defense are playing really, really well, but they need to get just a little bit more discipline. Tigers shouldn't still be on the field right now. 4 wide for the Tigers, single back. And the handoff is going to go for a very small gain of about 2 yards for the Tigers. That was Christopher Evans on the carry for the Tigers. 3:30 left to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 ball game for Bison. Defense showing blitz, and quarterback's in trouble. Steps up in the pocket, rolls out, finally gets rid of it. Nearest receiver to that one was number 88 again, Mr. Wright. The next one that was in the area was number 1, Teague Dwayne Malik Fulton. But unfortunately, neither one of those receivers for the Tigers could get to it. That will bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Tigers. Bison defense playing really strong here so far this evening. And here comes pressure, gets the dump off, but unfortunately he can't connect. Number 22, the intended target, Atavius Barber, again the target, but unfortunately couldn't bring it in as it bounces off the turf. Stops the clock at 2:47, and now it looks like the Tigers will have to punt this one away. So Bison fans will get a couple of 13s on the field for the Bison. Connor Kokic is obviously the kicker, but we also have another young man down there wearing 13, and he's not on the roster, or at least I don't have him on the roster. And we all know that as long as you don't have both of them on the field at the same time, it's fine. Here's the snap. The kick is almost blocked. End over end kick, low line drive. Takes a Tiger bounce to the Bison 35.5-yard line or so.
35-yard line.
So with 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter, this is where the Bison will take over for their next offensive drive. And it looks like we may have a re-kick situation. And yeah, I believe that's what we have. Actually, it looks like the Tigers are going to maintain possession after a penalty. Another penalty. I did not see the flag on this one, Bison fans, so I apologize. This is the second time it's happened. But this is the second time that the Tigers have punted the ball and somehow have come back with possession of the football, this time on their own 46-yard line with 2.5 minutes left to go in the ball game, or in the first quarter, excuse me.
Wait, we are watching football, right?
We are watching football.
I don't understand that
I feel like there's a
either.
glitch in the matrix right now because every time the deadgum Tigers punt it, they get it back. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
No, this ain't the UIL, man. We can criticize the officials here.
That's true, we can.
And apologies for that sideline camera. We're getting some glitching on that. We'll work on that at the quarter break. I think we're probably going to have to pull it back some.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. 4 wide receivers, single back in the backfield in the shotgun. There's the snap, looking for a receiver downfield, rolls out right side. A flag comes in late, and the quarterback steps out of bounds at around the 46-yard line on the Bison side of the field, 1 yard away from a first down. See what the flag is. Flag is going to go against the Tigers for hands to the face. So the big run by the quarterback, number 12, Thomas Arnold Jr., will be negated. Stops the clock at 1:42. And that seems to be kind of the theme of the night, Kevin. Penalties by both these teams are keeping them both in trouble. So 2nd and a mile for the Tigers. 4 wide. And looking to throw again, but able to keep things moving with his legs, extending plays. Number 12, Thomas Arnold Jr., very slippery back there in the backfield at the quarterback position for the Tigers. 1:23 left to go here in the first quarter after the run. So we have about a 3rd and 18 or so for the Tigers. Same formation as before, 4 wide. And again, Arnold Jr. rolling out, and he gets the pass away. It goes out of bounds, incomplete, and that will bring up another 4th down. And Thomas Arnold Jr. getting tracked down the entire time during that play, under pressure that entire drive. Able to extend plays with his legs, but when it came down to it, the Bison defense is just too strong for this Tiger offense.
So, admittedly, I haven't been able to pay as much attention to the gameplay on the field, but are you seeing to this point that one team is obviously stronger than the other?
I wouldn't say necessarily stronger, but I would definitely say that the Bison are more balanced. The snap for the punt, and it is a high spiraling punt. This is actually a really good one. We'll see if the Tigers come away with it at this time. And there's a flag comes in at that one. It's going to be probably punter interference, not able to.
Well, no, it was the receiver. The receiver called for a fair catch.
Right. Well,
And
did
then
he
he
call
got-
for? I didn't see the
Then
fair
he got,
catch.
yeah, then he got clobbered.
Okay. Well, I didn't see him call for the fair catch.
Let me see if I can actually get the replay to work on that.
It does stop the clock at 7:55. I like what the coach did there for the Bison. I think it was
Okay, so we'll see the kick coming up in
right
just a second.
now, both defenses are kind of
I hope.
been the power horses here in this game. So I like what coach just said.
No? Okay.
Okay.
All right, so, and apologies to the Bison's management here, but the replay system is just not working like it's supposed to tonight.
Only 19 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Conversion, I just think maybe Hunter
Bison
deep
offense
in
out
his
on
own
the field
end
from their own 41-yard line.
5. Jarvis Deontay Elder.
So Harris takes the snap, hands it off to Love. Love bounces out far side. He's got lots of room to work with and a blocker to help him out. Finally gets shoved out of bounds inside the inside the 30-yard line. They're actually going to spot him at the 34-yard line. That is a huge first down run by Love.
That was Eric Love on the carry. First down, Bison.
And we have an injured Bison down on the far side on the sideline for the Tigers. And this is one of those situations you never want to see any player for either team in. 3 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. And as the training staff takes a look at the injured player is off the playing surface, so they could technically continue playing right now. But it looks like they're going to give the training staff time to look at this player. Not exactly
He's up
sure.
on his feet now.
Trying to see, get a number off of a jersey. Oh, that's Love. Oh, wow. He must. He did lower his shoulder. He laid a hit of his own, so he's giving props to the defensive player who hit him as he looks into the Tiger sideline. Tiger coach is not happy as he is all in the face of the head zebra down there at the 40-yard line. Love will come off the field. He'll have to come off for at least one play. And we'll see if they let him play any more tonight, as he will have, I'm sure, some concussion concerns. Although I have to admit, if Eric Love has to come off the field for the remainder of the evening, it may change the way the offense is played here, because they have leaned on him quite a bit here tonight. He has played very, very well from the running back position. A strong runner, powerful runner, and he's got the speed to go with it. So we will keep our eyes on Love on the sideline. Hopefully he'll be able to make it back out on the field. He's got a little bit of a limp. He makes his way over to the training table, favoring his right leg just a little bit. And again, coaching staff out on the field talking to the referees. And this is the Tiger coaching staff out on the field.
So, well, the coach not very happy there.
No,
and
he's
it
not.
looked like he was making a reference to shoulder pads being grabbed, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was. Yeah, not quite sure what the reference was, but I know that the coaching staff for the Tigers seemed to have slowed down the game a little bit a couple times, coming out on the field to dispute a couple of things.
Right.
3 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Bison's leading at 6-0 over the Tigers, while the Tiger head coach Billy J. Clark Jr. gets some things worked out with the officiating staff. It is Bison football with a new set of downs with these 3 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see if Is this one of those situations? I mean, I know it's only the first quarter, but you've got 3 seconds left. You've got this extended long timeout right on the field right now. If I'm the offensive coordinator for the Bison, I think I would kind of want to make the Tigers pay for this a little bit. I think I'd take a shot at the end zone with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, why not? I mean, what do you got to lose here?
So still a lot of conversation down on the field right now between the Tiger head coach and the officiating staff. When we get back under action, we will get back under action up here in the booth as well. We'll bring it right back to Bison football right after this gets cleared up on the field. And it looks like that head coach Billy Clark Jr. is finally satisfied with whatever the officiating staff had to say. And with 3 seconds left to go, Harris will take the snap. They'll hand it off right up the middle. The clock strikes 0 as we extend the first quarter. And a great run right up the middle will take the Bison down to the 21-yard line and a new set of downs after the quarter break right here as we bring you Bison football. Or do you want to?
Well, I don't know. No, seriously, let's let's just
okay, hold on. Let me get over here.
Here we go. So we're going to turn around and face the camera here. All right,
Bless
so let's
everyone
recap
with
the
our
first
gorgeous
quarter.
faces.
Go ahead and recap the first quarter a little bit.
First quarter was a really good first quarter. Mainly the Bison defense, I think, was the highlight of the first quarter. They did a fantastic job. And actually, the second highlight of this quarter would be penalties by both teams. Penalties kept both. There's an opportunity for the Bison to probably be up by 3 scores here in this first quarter if it wouldn't have been for penalties. And the Tigers have just hurt themselves a little bit in the same regards. But the defense for the Bison, they're playing lights out. I'm really impressed with the defense. I'm a defensive guy. I like it. So
yeah, you are. All right, so looks like we're about ready to get back to play right now. And we're just going to go ahead and step aside for 1 second.
Bison setting up shop on the 22-yard line. Hand off around the right side.
we bring it back here to Round Rock ISD Dragon Stadium, where the Capital City Bison lead the Central Texas Tigers 6-0 as we get ready to start the second quarter here. 15 minutes on the clock, and actually should have been running.
And now it runs.
Now it runs. We're already one play into the second quarter, and the clock wasn't running. So I guess we extended the first quarter by a couple of seconds. We'll delay the start of the second quarter by a couple of seconds. Second and long now for the Bison after that first play gets blown up in the backfield. Harris fakes the handoff, rolls out right side. He's in trouble. He's back at the 40 and finally gets rid of it. Middle of the field, caught at the 25, dives forward. The ball may be loose. No, the Bison will maintain possession and gets past the original line of scrimmage, back up to the 20, make that the 19-yard line. Great job by number 8, Dante Gardner.
Third down and about 7.
Harris with the handoff. He's looking for a man downfield. He's looking at the end zone. He's got a guy over the shoulder. The blown up coverage results in another Bison touchdown. 13-0 is now your score. 12-0 your score. The cornerback, number 15, Denarius Bresbin for the Tigers, just lost his footing. He had the coverage, but when Garner made the turn for the back corner, Brisbane lost his footing, and that set up that touchdown. Great throw by Harris. And now your Bison lead the Tigers 12-0, 13:38 left to go here in the half.
Well, nice quick strike out of the gate for the second quarter. I mean, you got to love that.
Especially when the first play gets blown up in the backfield, you end up with a 2nd and long, and then Harris just stays calm in the pocket, delivers a beautiful pass in the back corner of the end zone. And now the Bison are trying to go up 13-0. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the extra point is good. Now the Bison do lead it 13-0 over the Tigers. 3:30 left to go here in the first half. And after this quick little break, we'll bring it right back to Bison football.
Central Texas Tigers 0.
All right, Bison fans, we bring it back to you here from Round Rock ISD Dragon Stadium, campus of Round Rock High School. 13:28 left to go here in the first half. 13-0 your score. Bison's over the Tigers. And the kickoff by Kokic is going to be a short one. Recovered at the 21, up to the 30, the 35. No one touches him until he gets to the 40 and down at the 43-yard line. And the Tigers will start out this next offensive drive with really good field position. Capital City Bison defense coming back out on the field after the kickoff. They've been the highlight of the first half so far, in my opinion. I know the offense have scored twice, but the defense have just swarmed all over the ball. They've broke up plays in the backfield. They have just done a fantastic job when it is their time on the field. Now it is see if they can blow up some more of these Tiger offensive plays with 12 and a half minutes left. The snap and the handoff goes right up the middle. Stood up right after the line of scrimmage. That was Christopher Evans on the carry. He'll get credited for 4 yards. Brings up 2nd and 6 for the Tigers. Second and 6, 11:48 on the clock. The snap, and is going to go far side this time. The handoff to number 22. That's Barber again on the carry, but the Bison are there. Blows it up in the backfield. So 2nd and 6 will become 3rd and 7 after the 1-yard loss. Tigers back up to the line of scrimmage. The snap Looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, he's in trouble, gets hit back at the line of scrimmage, able to squeak out maybe a half a yard. But this Bison defense is just too strong. And number 12, Thomas Arnold Jr. had nowhere to go. And that brings up 4th and 7 for the Tigers. Great series here by this Bison defense, only giving up 3 total yards in that possession. No penalties. And now an opportunity to get this offensive unit back out on the field, who has done a fantastic job. There is a couple of flags on the field, clearly. We'll work out the penalty here in just a second. Tigers seem to think it's going to go against the Bison. So offsides by the defense. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll still remain 4th down, but it'll be 4th and short versus 4th and long. So this will put it right at the 50-yard line. And now we'll decide if the Tigers are going to, the Tigers are sending the offensive unit back out on the field.
For the Tigers.
4th and short, down 2 touchdowns.
Might as well, right before half.
Sorry, I
missed
the extra point on the on-screen scoreboard. There we go.
Nice shot there. That Round Rock tower lit up.
Yeah, you can actually, after the play, I'll go to the in-booth cam.
And that's going to be Thomas Arnold Jr. keeping the play alive. He's going to get the first down the Tigers needed. He needed 2. He ends up with 5, maybe even 6.
So you can actually see our reflections in the glass on the booth cam now.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
They're in the distance. You can see the nice lit up Round Rock Tower.
Right
there, yeah.
Right there. I'll have to get Zachary to zoom in on it here in a minute after the next play.
Okay, so there we go. Running into a little bit of a range issue on that transmitter, but I think that'll help.
Tigers keep it on the ground, trying to get something started here. They'll get about 5, maybe 6 on this one.
Pick up about 5 yards on the play, bring up 2nd down and 5.
Once again, we thank you for joining us for Capital City Bison's football. As we've worked on a little technical thing here or two as we move through the first half. Of course, it is live television, so.
There's that tower.
There's that tower.
Water tower looking good.
All right. Good job, Zach. Now get back on the play.
Defense blows this one up before it can get started for the Tigers. A 2nd and 5 will become 3rd and 5 as the Bison defense keeps doing what they've been doing all night long.
Good work, bro.
No gain on the play.
Giving a thumbs up to our young camera operator down the hall.
We do want to say thank you to Nicholas Pavlik and Zachary Langley for stepping up tonight and helping us out.
And they're both learning as we go, on-the-job training and camera work. So we appreciate you putting up with us as they ascend the learning curve tonight as well.
And the 3rd and long snap for the Tigers at the throw and caught over the shoulder and into
Touchdown.
the end zone. Unbelievable catch by DeQuinton McGinnis from 5 yards out. Bobbles it a little bit, able to maintain possession. And the Tigers get on the board 13-6 with the extra point try coming up.
Tigers setting up for the extra point attempt.
Heard all those whistles. I thought we had another flag on the play, so.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for 2. I don't see any evidence of a kicker out there.
Nope, there it is.
Okay, then.
Yeah, number 48, who I don't have on the roster for the Tigers.
I've just kind of put the roster aside.
Number 2, Raymond Paul Jones, the holder, and they were going to go for 2, Kevin. They tried to do a little
sneaky.
And a flag comes in right at the end of that one.
I think there might have been a little extracurricular activity there.
Yeah,
but
I think we're going to have an unsportsmanlike.
The Tigers were setting up for an obvious fake, and the Bison sniffed it right out and came rushing up the middle like
gangbusters.
Yeah, like Jerome Bettis back in the day, rushed like the bus.
So, yeah, I think we're going to get a little extracurricular, but it's going to go against. No, actually, it should go. I think it is going to go against our Bison. So, penalty will be assessed, I believe, after the kickoff. Or is it going against? Yeah, it's going. I don't know. I really don't know.
13, Tigers 6.
So it is going to go against the Bisons. It was a personal foul, so they're marking it off on the kickoff. It's going to go up to the 50-yard line.
Wow. But still,
I mean, this is almost a field goal attempt.
Yeah.
Versus a kickoff. I think the Bison will probably start this drive on their own 20. What do you think?
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking this is gonna go out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, out the back.
Now, if you split the uprights, does it count? I don't know.
No, unfortunately it doesn't. I always thought it should. You should get something if you can make it through the uprights on a kickoff.
Right.
Especially if you're doing it from regulation, no penalties added on, stuff like that.
No, but then you'd have teams that's just what they do.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time. Hey, we'll score a point and then start the drive at the 20. So,
right.
We'll let the Canadians pioneer that.
That seems like something Canadian football would do. The CFL.
It's an enhanced rouge.
And the kickoff by the Tigers is a short one. And line drive one luckily goes out of bounds inside the end zone. If that had gone out of bounds previous, then we'd have been looking at a penalty going against the Tigers for legal procedure. But as it stands, it'll be a touchback, and the Bison will take over from their own 20 with 6:43 left to go here in the first half.
Bison will set up shot, 1st and 10.
As we watch from the sideline camera now, which is actually, we've backed it up off the actual sideline now. So we've got Nick shooting from the stands.
Yeah, had to get that transmitter a little closer. As he's on the move.
And now Nick is on the move.
Never fails. You go to a camera shot and they start moving. You're like, golly, hold on.
We'll come back to that as Nick gets set. And take you inside at the line of scrimmage. Take you inside the Bison's backfield.
6:43 left to go in the half. 13-6 ball game. Bison over the Tigers. There's the snap to Harris. The handoff tripped up in the backfield by a great defensive play. Number 5, Alvin Smith on the carry there for the Bison.
Loss of about 3 yards on the play.
Loss of 3 by the defense there for the Tigers. Brings up 2nd and 13 with 6:20 left to go here in the first half. Still haven't seen Love back out on the field after him getting a little banged up on the sideline earlier. And here's the snap again. Harris in trouble, steps up in the pocket. And he's going to get tripped up back at the 15-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Bison. And Love is on the sideline. He's sitting on the bench right now, so I'm hoping, I figure that him not being back out there in this offensive drive is a sign that he may be done for the night. And you can tell that him not being out there with this offensive unit, at least on this drive, has made an effect.
Yeah.
3rd and 18, 5:16 left to go here in the first half. The snap back to Harris. He gets it off on a little screen play. This is going to be very close to a first down, up to the 30-yard line, so just 5 yards shy with the screen pass. So now we'll see if the Bison want to go for 4th and 5 or if they'll send out the punting unit. Actually, Harris is the punting unit also, so he'll just back up to the 15 and looks like he'll put a foot into it.
4th down and about 6.
Tigers setting up, knowing that this could possibly be a fake. And this low snap to Harris. He's able to get a foot into it, but it is a high kick. If we were playing in an elevator shaft, it would have been perfect. It bounces backwards at the 50-yard line and goes out of bounds at the Bison 46-yard line. So,
Elevator humor. How uplifting.
there you go. There's your dad jokes.
There it is.
4:01 and counting here in the first half. Bison leading at 13-6 after the punt. And the offensive unit for the Tigers coming back out. Number 12, Thomas Arnold Jr., the speedy, slippery quarterback for the Tigers. We'll see what he can do.
Speedy and slippery.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's slick, that's for sure. He gets out of trouble. Does a great job of using his legs to extend plays. Four wide receivers for the Tigers, single back in the backfield. And there he goes using those legs as he rolls out far side. Flag comes in for the holding call. And that ball snapped out, and it is scooped up right off the turf by the Bison.
Has the whistle blown?
And it did just now. One ref is signaling that that is a Bison football at the 35-yard line. It squirted out all the way back at the first down marker.
Was that number 6 came up with the ball, Jamari Perry?
No, it's that may be number 6.
Yeah, walking back across the 30 now, coming into the left left of the frame. He's not happy about that. He's like, what was with the whistle? I was about to score. Okay, what's going on now?
Yeah, the Bison are all happy. They're going down to get some camera,
okay.
time.
Yeah.
We got a little photo op opportunity down here real quick. And it does look like it's going to be Bison football. And I do believe the offensive unit is headed out there, so that is going to be a fumble recovery by the Bison defense. The ball squirted out right at this line of scrimmage for the Tigers. Arnold Jr. was making a scramble and he got hit from, I didn't see where the angle came from, but he got hit. The ball stayed on the turf and went shot up the sideline. Defense grabs it up. Fantastic job, just great heads-up play. So the Tiger defense will have to come back out here after not getting a whole lot of rest. 3:35 left to go here in the first half. Harris sends his offense back out there, and he's going to look to throw. He's in trouble and goes back down at the 30. He's going to take a 5-yard loss on that one. Protection breaking down quickly. Both these defenses playing very, very well, but Central Texas just not able to match the play of the Capital City Bison right now. That was a good defensive stop. Let's see if Harris can get something going here. Last offensive drive ended pretty badly as well, as they got held for a loss on that drive. There's the snap to Harris. He's looking to throw, dumps it off, and is going to get caught around the 26-yard line. Contact at the 30, still on his feet, almost to the 50s. He finally goes down at the 47-yard line. Make that the 48. And that is Alvin Smith on the carry. The Tigers think they have the ball. And now we've also got an injured Tiger on the field. So the training staff will have to come out and take a look at that one. We'll also have to wait for an official spot on the football. They are going to call it Bison football. He was down by contact. The injured player for the Tigers, number 42, Vincent Brown, defensive tackle, able to get up on his own and trying to walk it off, which is extremely good to see.
And, you know, you just look at that man, and he just says, just looking at him, he just screams defensive tackle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's just a, I don't know, there's just a type, there's just a swagger about people who play that position. And of course, small people don't play those positions either.
They
but
wouldn't.
That's not what I'm referring to.
I don't think they'd match up well as a defensive tackle, being a guy that eats a normal meal.
But, okay, I think I got replay figured out. So we need a big play.
Here we go. Here it could happen right here. The handoff on the delay, a spin move, tries to keep it going. That'll be about a 6-yard gain on the ground by Alvin Smith. They'll actually give him 6, so that'll bring up 2nd and 4 with 2 minutes on the clock. Snap to Harris. He's looking to throw. Dump saff.
Might have it. We'll see.
3 wide for Harris. Single man in the backfield, and we are going to have a timeout. Not sure what the timeout is for.
Did you see who took it?
I think it's an official timeout, to be honest.
Gotcha.
But it's starting to look like the Tigers, it's starting to look like a team timeout by one of them.
Timeout on the field.
Okay, so we do have a timeout. I don't know who called it.
Both teams have one.
Yep, still shows one on
in the half.
So 1:55 left to go. The Bison trying to get another cricket number on the board before we go into halftime. 13-6 your score. Bison leading the Central Texas Tigers.
And we've had that talk. In football, there are only cricket numbers.
That's true.
We do baseball as well, baseball and softball at the high school level.
Yeah,
and he talks about cricket numbers. When it's a 1, it's a straight number.
It is a straight number. That's true.
So, but not in football. You never have just a 1 on the scoreboard in American football.
2 minutes left to go. Timeout has come to an end, and the Bison will get the offense back underway. 2nd and 4.
Second down and 3. Huh?
Harris barking out some last-minute orders to his offensive line. Kalen Bright in the backfield will get the rock on this carry, and he rumbles forward. He's got the first down they need. There's also a couple of flags that came in on that one. We'll see what the flags are.
Brought down by a host of the Tigers.
So, somebody complaining about the clock? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I didn't hear. I was actually trying to pay attention to what was on the field. I didn't hear about the clock.
So the stadium clock showing 1:46 to go here in the second quarter.
New set of downs, at least it should be, based on the penalty. Let's see what the penalty is. It is going to go against the defense. Hands to the face, so that'll be a 15-yard mark-off.
Above the head, above the shoulders. 15-yard penalty.
So a first down run followed by a huge defensive mistake gives our Bison 1st and 10 at the Tiger 25-yard line. Harris chunks a deep one far side, has a man, and with the stretch out over the head, unbelievable catch and touchdown for the Capital City Bison. That is one you put back up on the replay. Holy cow.
All right, let's do that.
Number 16, Emmanuel Davis with the reverse Superman catch. Stretches out, maintains possession as he hits the turf, and puts the Bison a little further ahead of the Tigers. 19-6 your score, and the extra point try is on the way.
Yeah, I've got the replay running right now, so hopefully we get to his offensive line.
Bison are trying to get a holder out on the field. Everybody's celebrating. Feeling bright.
Here comes the replay right here.
Get the rock on this carry.
No, I'm sorry. I took
and he rumbles forward.
I apologize. I took it too far back.
The extra point try. The snap, the hold, the kick by Kokuk. Unfortunately, Sells far left will be no good, but the Bison still have a 19-6 lead with 1:16 left to go here in the first half. Fantastic catch by number 16, Emmanuel Davis, who with that catch alone has just become my Bison player of the game. So after the big touchdown by the Bison, we have 1:16 left to go here in the first half. 19-6 your score, and Kokuk has it set up on the Bison 35-yard line to kick it off.
Number 7, Christopher Evans. Number 10, Jaquel Lott. Number 28, Thomas
And here's the
White.
kickoff. It is a short one. It's going to be recovered at the 22-yard line by number 7 for the Tigers. Bounces it out and keeps it in between the hashes. It'll go down at the 36. And that is where the Tigers will take over with 1 minute left to go in the first half.
Stop short of the 40-yard line.
That was Christopher Evans on the return for the Tigers.
Will set up shop
From the
on
22 to the
36-yard line.
37. That'll be about a 15-yard return. Bison defense coming out here to close out this first half, trying to keep the Tigers from getting back on the board. Empty backfield for Thomas Jr., or Arnold Jr., excuse me, as he rolls out near side, throws it finally at the last minute. Incomplete pass intended for McGinnis, and that will stop the clock at 45 seconds.
And here real quick, we'll go ahead and put up
First
that
and
pass
10
play.
at the Tiger
Put
25-yard
the
line.
Bisons ahead.
Harris chunks a deep one far side, has a man, and
Just
with the
completely
stretch
sweet
out
play right
over the
there.
head,
Just
unbelievable
receiver gets
catch
behind
and
the defense
touchdown
and
for
far
the
back into the end zone.
Capital
Ball
City
dropped in.
Bison. That is
Pure
one you put
athleticism
back up on the
looking catch.
replay.
And
Holy
some
cow.
great celebration. All right, going on let's
there
do
as
that
well.
as we go back to live.
No. So second and 10, 46 seconds left to go here in the first half. The snap, and again, Arnold Jr. in trouble as he pitches it back. The defense is there to stop it, and that'll be a loss of about 6, maybe even 7 on the play.
It goes nowhere.
As Arnold Jr. tried to send it back to number 5, Jarvis Elder, but Elder was swallowed up.
Broken up by
So
Keith
now you will be looking at a big third down with 28 seconds left to go here in the first half. And I believe we will have another timeout on the field. It'll be the final timeout for the Tigers.
Timeout on the field.
So Tigers trying to get some things figured out here with the seconds winding down here in the first half, trailing by 13 to the Bison. Been a good game so far. We hope you folks have enjoyed it. Not sure if there's a any way to see how the folks are enjoying it on Facebook or anything like that, or is there a?
Not that I can see. I may not be privy to that part of the event.
Let me see what I can find.
3rd and 20 for the Tigers.
And the possibly one of the last plays of the first half is underway. A big chunk down the far side is going to go incomplete as it is caught out of bounds. Stops the clock at 18 seconds and brings up a huge 4th down. So a huge 4th down here for the Central Texas Tigers. We have a penalty going against
Personal foul on the Bisons.
the Bison. I believe that personal foul penalty will make this an automatic 1st down for the Tigers with 18 seconds left to go in the first half.
First down.
And that is correct. It will be an automatic 1st down for the Tigers. So Thomas Arnold Jr. is not on the field as the quarterback right now. It will be 4th down after not an automatic 1st down. It will be 4th down, be 4th and 5 for the Tigers. The punter out on the field with number 13 back deep to return the kick for the Bison. The snap, the flag comes in as the punt gets sent.
Flag on the play.
You can hear the whistle just immediately as the
So we will see what the penalty will be. It looks like it's going to go against the Tigers. It looks like there's one too many or a few too many players on the field for the Tigers.
And here once again we'll give you an idea of what our view looks like this evening. It's a beautiful night. You couldn't ask for a beautiful, more better night for
Let me try
football.
something for you. Does that help at all?
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, gets the glare off the
Gets the glare. I mean, they won't be able to see our beautiful faces when we
that's
do our
right.
halftime report, but
Well, we can turn the light back on.
yeah. As somebody once asked me when they saw a shot like that, dude, you got enough computers? You really think so?
I think we got a total of 3 in here. Yeah, 3.
3? No. Yeah, 3.
3 and a monitor. 2 wide. Excuse me, here comes the punting unit. And the punter taking his time to get this one away as he was trying to eat a little clock off, I think. This one's going to take a huge Tiger bounce.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the special teams unit could not keep it out of the end zone, so this will come back out to the 20 for the Bison.
You got to love him completely giving up the body to
Yeah.
try and save that.
Trying to pin the Bison back inside the 5-yard line. Couldn't make it happen. So with 6 seconds left to go, we'll see if the Bison decide to just take a knee or if they'll take advantage of the 6 seconds and get a play off. We'll break down the first half right as we go to halftime, and then we'll give our voices a little bit of a break as we take a little bit of halftime and wait for these two teams to make their way back out to finish the game off.
And it looks like we've got a man down, actually, in the end zone, in the south end zone there.
Yeah, that's the guy that was trying to make the stop on the punt. It didn't look like he hit that hard or awkwardly, but I guess that little roll or something may have jarred something loose he didn't want jarred loose.
Say, don't we have these? Can you turn on these lights right here?
Yeah, let's see.
On the rotator.
Ooh,
There we go.
how's that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
mood lighting
perfect.
for you.
Well,
You just need
I'm
to.
not going to joke around while the's an injured player on the field, but
Let's give him a big round of applause.
He is able to get back on his feet, which is good to see. A little help off the field. You hope it's just one of those injuries he'll be able to.
shake off.
Yep, exactly. Make his way back out on the field a little bit later. I'm going to keep my eyes out for Eric Love after halftime. We'll see if him sitting out the first half was just a precautionary step or if he will actually be done for the rest of the night for the Bison. Bison have found a way to adapt a little bit with Love not being on the field. Alvin Smith stepping up and doing a really good job at the running back position for the Bison. But you also like the work put in by number 33, Kalen Bright. And it does look like that Harris is just going to step under center. This is going to take a knee, and we will go into halftime with a 19-6 lead. The Bison looking pretty strong out there on the field tonight, Kevin, as we get set up for our little halftime breakdown.
19, Tigers 6.
Oh, we're gonna have to turn. You're gonna have to bring up the light.
Let's try that. Oh yeah, that works. I guess.
All right.
I look
so
a little orange, but
we
hey,
see you. But
yeah.
all right. So
Slide on over here.
all of a sudden we're Syracuse University graduates. No, orange men.
Hold on, let me fix it. Let me fix it. Let's do that.
Okay, there you go.
That's better?
Now you can see.
Now we look like ghosts.
All
That's
right,
fine.
so admittedly, I have not really had a lot of chance in the first half
Hey,
to
you've
pay
been
attention
busy.
to the
That's
gameplay.
why you're the mix master. You got
But,
things going on. So
From what I've seen so far is I've seen, frankly, things really going well for the Capital City Bison. You mentioned that if not for penalties, there could be at least 2 more touchdowns on the go.
I really do feel that the Bison have left a couple of points on the board just because of penalties. They didn't necessarily get close enough to the end zone to score, and that those penalties pulled them back. But the penalties pulled them back really early in those drives. So, and there have been big penalties. We've seen a lot of 15-yarders here tonight. So I think a lot of personal foul penalties, hands to the face. So I think if these guys can get a little bit more disciplined, play a little bit cleaner, negate those penalties a lot more, I think we're going to see a bigger scoring window, I think, for the Bison. The Central Texas Tigers, they're doing a decent job. Arnold Jr., the quarterback, he's been playing quarterback. He's been playing.
He's been dancing.
He has been dancing, and that's because the Bison have done a really good job of keeping him guessing in the backfield. He hasn't been able to keep his feet planted.
Yep.
He hasn't been able to make really good, clean throws. He's been able to extend plays, but the Bison defense is just too strong.
All right, so what do we see as the keys to the second half at this point?
Honestly, I think this defense needs to keep doing what they're doing, play a little bit more disciplined, but still stay as hungry and still stay as savage as they have been. Keep breaking up those plays. Keep make Arnold Jr. Use his legs and breaking up the plays. Offensively, we need the offensive line to step up a little bit on protection. The quarterback Harris has had to scramble a little bit here in the later parts of the first half. So he's had to rely on his feet, and he's not as quick as a scrambler as Arnold is on the other side of the field. So he's getting caught up in the backfield quite a bit. So if the offensive line can step up, help out on the protection side, the running game's working out really nicely, even with the loss of Love and the potential of him not being here in the second half. So I think just the offensive line needs to improve a little bit. Defense needs to keep playing like they're playing.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and step aside for halftime. We'll silence our microphones and take you back out to the field and leave you with the sound. Well, hey, we got a cheerleader performance now, so we're going to go ahead and silence our microphones and let you enjoy the sounds of the stadium. At the half, Capital City leads Central Texas Tigers 19-6. You're watching Capital City Bison's football.
Sprouts Farmers Market, we work with the best local farmers to bring you the freshest produce, organic fruits and vegetables. Introducing Astound Broadband, ultra-fast internet, powered by broadband.
Las pequeñas victorias son victorias. Lego with Echo.
All right, you heard it. It's fireball time. Time to get going for the second half.
You know what? If it was a cold enough day, I'd take a fireball. But right now, nah, not a big fireball guy.
Ah,
That Capital City Bison, after the halftime, will kick it off to the Central Texas Tigers. 19-6 your score at the break.
Exciting football game.
Bison trying to hold on to this lead and go to 2-1 on the season and 2-0 at home.
Let's play some football.
let's play some football. You heard the man.
Kickoff is underway, and it is dropped at the 10-yard line, scooped back up by the Tigers, and is going to turn into a decent return all the way up to about the 29-yard line, all off the legs of number 7, Christopher Evans.
That was number 7, the ball carrier for the Central Texas Tigers. That was Christopher Evans.
All right, so let's see if I can get my head a little bit more into the game here in the second half.
Brought it out to about the 30-yard line where the Tigers will set up 1st and 10.
Once again, a beautiful night for, well, heck, any sport here at Dragon Stadium on the campus of Round Rock High School.
1st and 10 for the Tigers on their own 30-yard line. Clock is wound, and we are back underway. Bison defense showing blitz, and the ball is on the turf. And again, the Bison come up with it with the second turnover of the game. Fantastic job.
At number 6 or number 8?
Number 6.
Number 6. You know what? That is number 6. That is Jamari Perry, and he actually was the gentleman who recovered the other big fumble recovery back in the latter half of the second quarter.
That is correct. And he, if they wouldn't have blown the whistle, he would have been in the end zone. So
he did get a great photo opportunity out of it, though. Hey, where's that photographer now?
I know, right?
Off charging his batteries, I bet. Speaking of new batteries, Nick is back up online. We've got the Nick cam working down there.
So 1st and 10 for the Bison after the turnover, and it's a carry by big number 33, Kalen Bright. He's going to get close to a first down, just 2 yards shy. And inside the red zone with that carry, 2nd and 2 for the Bison. And again, another carry by Bright into the first down territory and a lot more up to the, they're going to mark him at the 16. So he needed 2. Got 4 and a new set of downs for the Bison. Harris comes out 4 wide this time. Bright still in the backfield. And there's Harris looking for the throw on this first down. Has a man, but he is covered well. The throw is low and away.
Well, one of the points you made at halftime was that the Bison needed to work more on, work better in the trenches. They needed to give better pass protection to Harris, and that looks like a good start on that.
Still seeing that Love has not made his way out onto the field at all so far. This isn't the first offensive drive for the team after the break, so looking to the sideline, I see Love still suited, but I don't know if Love will be back out on the field carrying the rock. Right now, Bright is doing a fantastic job as he gets inside the 5, a new set of downs. 1st and goal for the Bison at the 2-yard line.
The Bison?
The Bison?
The Bison.
The Bison? We do have an injured Tiger on the field at about the 10-yard line. As Zachary brings you in on that shot, we'll see if we can get a number on the injured player here in just a second. A couple of injuries here tonight for both these teams. One of obviously the biggest one to note for us is the loss of Eric Love, who has, up to the point of injury, did a phenomenal job from the backfield. Unfortunately, after ripping off about a 18 or 22-yard scamper on the far side right before we broke into halftime is when Love went down. He was able to get up and make his way over to friendly territory over here on our side, the home sideline. He was laying over there on the Tiger sideline for a while and had a little bit of a limp, sat down on the training table and then took a seat on the bench. Well, now he's standing on the sideline. Looks like he could go if he wanted to, but I have a feeling training staff is saying we're going to be safe.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Make sure that you're okay.
And, you know, some of these players we've talked about, in football terms, advanced age of some of these.
Oh, yeah.
When I say
absolutely.
advanced, I mean that in football terms.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just like when a commentator says, well, you know, this running back's 32 years old. He's only got a couple more years of shelf life.
Right.
So, and these guys are probably, I mean, I'm probably guessing the average age of both these teams is somewhere around 30, 35.
And I was going to talk about that in terms of, what am I looking for here? In terms of being prone to injury, wear and tear.
Yeah. A 35-year-old's knee is probably more like a 60-year-old man's knees after playing 18 years of football or so.
And that means my knees are dead. So.
Well, you're doing a phenomenal job standing on dead knees, I just got to tell you. Still attending to, still attending to the injured Tiger on the field. Haven't been able to get a number off of that player just yet, so we're not sure who it is. It looks like it's one of the big guys from the trenches. And they are going to have to help this gentleman off the turf. And still trying to get a number for you off that jersey. Just unable to do so. Kind of hard to see even with the camera zoomed in like that. Looks like a 40-something, 42, 45, 45. Zachary thinks it's 45, 47, 42. What do you, just tell me. Oh, 25, excuse me.
Oh, that is 42,
it is 42?
the injured player, yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know where you got 25, Zachary, but
he's the left defensive tackle for
Vincent Brown.
Vincent Brown, yeah.
We've called his name a couple times actually for the Tigers. So,
but yeah, let's go ahead and get the camera off of him. So, there we go.
So this is the ultimate sign of what kind of league we're talking about here, is you have a Bison player helping a Tiger player off the field. This is, you know, when it comes down to the end of it, these guys are all friends. They've played in football teams together throughout the seasons.
They played against one another as teammates so in a lot of cases.
And now a Tiger player comes to relieve the Bison as we appreciate the sportsmanship between these two teams very much. It has been a little chippy from time to time, but again, when it comes down to it, everybody's just trying to take care of each other out here. 3:15 left to go here in the third quarter. It's been a slow start to this one due to this injury. Is unfortunately Vincent Brown will more than likely, based on the way he is trying to get off the turf, he's done for the night. And as soon as the injured player clears the playing surface, we will be back under action here. And the huddle breaks open. We're ready to get back underway here. First and goal from the 2-yard line for the Bison. And a big run play right up the middle by Bright will be a touchdown for the Bison. They'll extend their lead 25-6 over the Tigers. Extra point try coming up on the leg of Coker.
Real quick, we'll take a look at that touchdown play. Got it wound back just enough. There's the handoff. And you can see the running back bouncing off of 2 tackles going in over the end there. And back now for the extra point.
12:59 left to go here in the third quarter. Kokic. I think I called him Coker earlier. I apologize. This is Kokic on for the extra point try. We need one more player on the field for the Bison.
Score right now 25-6.
And the extra point try is no good as it goes wide left. I think it was partially blocked by the Tigers.
I think you're right, yeah. I thought I saw more than one Tiger get a hand on it, to be honest.
25-6 is your score. We'll keep it there. 12:52 left to go here in the third quarter. And the Bison extending this lead over the Tigers. Really fantastic job. Most of that drive all on the legs of number 33, Kalen Bright. The big run that put them at the second goal, or first and goal, 1st and 3, is the one that set that score up more than anything. It was just a fantastic job by Bright filling in for Eric Love here in this second half.
So did I hear that? Did you say the kicker's name is Kokic?
Kokic, yep. Connor
Kick.
Kokic, yep. As long as I'm saying it right. Number 13,
okay.
K-O-C-I-K. Kokic?
Could be Kokic or Kochic.
Kochic? I guess it could be Kochic.
And we should be ashamed as broadcasters that we don't know the right pronunciations.
I am the most honest person with you right now when it comes to pronouncing names. Unless it's something simple like Smith, Brown, or, I'm horrible. I am absolutely horrible at pronouncing a last name.
It's funny, my last name being McAdams. I
right?
do substitute teaching at elementary. And
right.
I just tell them, call me Mr. M.
Mr. M.
The little ones, yeah. They
Mr. M. What does McAdams sound like coming out of a 3-year-old or a third grader's mouth?
I'll tell you after the play.
Okay, after the play. Here's the kickoff, partially bobbled at the 12-yard line by the Tigers. No contact. Finally, contact made at around the 30 where he gets tripped up, taken down at around the 33.
Well, let's see. Last day I worked was 2 days ago, and I was called Ms. Cadams.
Oh, you mean? I like that one. Tommy White on the return for the Tigers on that one.
But nobody ever mangles Chancellor? Chancellor?
No, I actually don't get to me Chancellor issues
Mr.
at all.
Chancellor?
It's when most of my issues when I come to I'm used to introducing myself as Chance. I've been called Chance thanks to a drill sergeant who shortened my last name because your last name's too long in basic.
Drill sergeant ain't got no time for that.
Yeah, so big pass play here by the Tigers, trying to make something happen over the head of his intended target, number 5. That was Jarvis Elder, the intended target.
And very well defended there, too.
Oh,
you saw that the cornerback was there, right there with him the entire time. So even if he had caught that, he wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't going any further with it.
My biggest issue is, and when I say Chance, and usually over the phone, people hear James, or it's just I don't know where they hear anything other than Chance. I try to pronounce it fairly well. So, and the delay handoff up the middle for the Tigers will go for positive yards all the way up to around the 40-yard line. That was Christopher Evans on the carry.
Somebody, I'm trying to remember, actually it may have been Jeremy. It was like, hey, you and Dan are still coming this Saturday, right? Or something like that. I'm like, who's Dan?
Yeah.
Who is Dan?
Yeah. He called me Daniel he introduced me as Daniel earlier to someone. I said, Chance, and he goes, or Chance. I said, whichever we all prefer. Empty backfield for Justin Jordan and the Tigers on this 3rd and short. 11 and a half minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Jordan directing traffic. He's got a blocker. He's got a first down. Crosses the 50 and gets shoved out of bounds somewhere around the 44-yard line or so. Big first down run by Jordan. Keeps the drive going for the Tigers as well as puts them in Bison territory.
Yeah, I just want to comment, or compliment rather, Nick and Zach. Doing a fine job learning very quickly on the job on the camera work tonight. I think we're going to have a solid crew for the rest of the season.
And a delay handoff again, right up the middle, goes for a 1-yard loss because of that Bison defense doing what they've been doing. Christopher Evans couldn't break the tackles.
The Bison defensive line is just a whole bunch of beasts, man. I mean, they've been doing that all night, tearing up, just parting the offensive line, the Tigers' offensive line, like it was the Red Sea,
Well,
and jumping into the backfield.
They're built for speed. They're not the hugest
No,
defense
they're not.
in the world.
They're not the huge, bulky guys you usually see.
Defense is definitely designed around speed. 5 wide, empty backfield. Jordan looking to throw it and finally gets rid of it. Looking to the center of the field and broken up by 2 Bison defenders. Looks like number 6, Philip Roper, or number 5. I can't tell. It might be a 5. That might have been Jarvis Elder, the intended target on that one. 2 safeties for the Bison. Read that one beautifully. Got between the ball and the defender and the receiver, broke it up. That sets up the 3rd and 11. Bison showed blitz, and it's a handoff. Goes nowhere. That'll be another loss on the play. Number 44 had nowhere to go. Lester Walker.
And that is going to bring up 4th and 12, looks like.
4th and 12. So after the big first down play by the quarterback, Justin Jordan using his legs, they'll now be looking at 4th and long on the Bison side of the field. And it looks like Jordan will step back. No, they're going to go for it here unless Jordan is going to do the rugby-style punt. Empty backfield. 4th and long. 9:24 and counting on the clock. There's the snap, and Jordan's going to hold on to it. Finally lobs it in the air, and it is intercepted at the 28-yard line by the Bison. Scrambles up, and the ball's on the turf, picked up by the Tigers. The Tigers go back down, excuse me, at the 33. It had been past the first down marker to begin with, but after the fumble, it'll be a first down for the Tigers.
And we're watching that play once again on the instant.
What a crazy turn of events there. The Bison able to get the interception off the bad throw, and then they turn around and fumble it on the tackle. Tigers using the just heads-up play to get back on it. And now the Bison with the big blow-up play and an unscripted pitch back to the quarterback. And now the pass to the end zone, and the Tigers find it. Unbelievable play, totally unscripted. You got to love the great heads-up play by the running back. I know this is a Bison broadcast.
Yeah.
But the heads-up play by the running back for the Tigers just then to pitch it back to Jordan, and for Jordan just to find his man deep who didn't give up on the play. Fantastic job by the Tigers. 25-12 your score now. Extra point try coming up for the Tigers. Bison fans right now are like, calm down, Chance. We didn't pay you. We didn't hire you to be excited for the Tigers. I'm excited for good football. That was good football.
Well, you know, as we always say in our high school games as well, you know, you can be the home team broadcaster, but you know,
you got to give love where
you got
love
to,
is
yeah,
due.
you got to give
Absolutely.
credit where credit's due.
And a timeout taken by the special teams unit for the Tigers. Couldn't get guys lined up, and the clock was winding down, so it took the timeout over taking the penalty.
And that was Tiger timeout?
Tiger timeout, yes, sir. Tigers still have 2 left. Bison, all 3 of theirs remaining here in the second half. Bison still in control of this football game, even though the Tigers, that was just a luck. That was one of those plays that if this was on ESPN, it would be on SportsCenter top 10 plays. I promise
think so,
you right
yeah.
now. That was one of those plays that we did up with because it was just a phenomenal job. Everybody playing with, even though that the defense was collapsing quickly, the offensive unit just played calmly. And because they were able to keep their heads about them, and that's ultimately what led to that touchdown by the Tigers.
All right, so now here we go for this extra point attempt again. So we'll watch that from the Nick cam.
And the extra point try is up and good for the Tigers, making this a 25-13 ball game. Bison still on top. Have a change of possession. The Tigers will kick it off to our Bison, and the Bison will look to answer back after that wild touchdown play.
8:44 left to play in the third quarter. And, yeah. It's like we have some young fans hanging out around the outside mic. Yeah.
They found it, huh?
No, I don't think they know it's
No?
there. They're just playing.
Okay, well, that's good. It's always fun when a fan or when a member of the crowd finds the crowd mic, and they're like, "Hello." They always get right up.
Hello.
That's always usually what you
Oh,
hear.
it's not fun though when they say things that
Oh,
should
yeah,
not
yeah.
be said.
Especially when you're doing a high school broadcast.
Oh Lord. Remember last year we had to have a couple of young people removed.
Yeah, I remember that, unfortunately. 8:44 left to go here in the third quarter. The Bison 25, Tigers 13.
Sometimes you get some good improv karaoke, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Tigers scoring a touchdown on a wild play, or a couple of plays in that previous series. As this is setting up for a nice return by the Bison. First contact at the 35, and unfortunately that was contact by his own player. As you can see, number 0, Barrett Graves, is apologizing as he got all in the way of the returner there at the 35-yard line. Otherwise, it might have gone for 5 or 10 even more yards than it did.
Right.
So Josh Harris will send his offensive unit back out on the field, as he will do his best to lead them down this 62-yard field for another touchdown. New running back in the backfield for Harris as the Tigers are showing blitz. And the handoff is good, and is a
flag on the near side.
Flag near side. That's going to be either offsides or.
So more than likely that play is
start.
coming back.
Oh yeah, big run though. Nice run there by number 28, Tamarian Moore. Had a man in the backfield trying to break that play up, and he gets out of that arm tackle, and then shoots up the field for 17 yards. So the play will hold. Must have been a penalty against the defense. So now the Bison with 1st and 10 on the Tiger 45-yard line, 3 wide. A handoff near side again, or inside again. That'll be good for about 4 yards on that one. Again, Moore on the carry. Love standing close to his coaching staff. He's got his helmet on like he wants to go in. 3 wide. And again, we might have a flag blowing this one dead. And we do not. I thought we were going to have a defensive penalty there for neutral zone infraction. Instead, they'll get credited with knocking Moore back for a couple of yards, making this a 3rd and long. New running back in for the Bison.
And once again, while we have a lull, I'll give you that beautiful view that we're experiencing tonight.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Not at all.
Number 5, Alvin Smith, back in at the running back position for the Bison after a couple of good carries and plays by Moore. And we do have a flag in the backfield or in the secondary of the defense. Personal foul going against the Bison.
Well, yeah, that's a big walk-off.
So 3rd and 5 becomes 3rd and 28. With 7:21 left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
You talked about penalties.
Penalties being a problem in the first half.
Being a problem in the first half for the Bison.
And this is one of those situations where they're not, like I said, it's not that they're getting close to the end zone
right,
and the penalties
and
push them
getting
back,
back.
but you just lost 15 yards right there, and you had a very manageable 3rd down, and now you have a 3rd and Pflugerville,
well,
a little further.
Pflugerville's that way.
Yeah, well, still south of it.
South.
Here's the snap to Harris. Harris is in trouble. He finally dumps it off, and the defense is there for it.
Wow.
With a 2, maybe even a 3-yard loss, setting up a huge 4th down. And the Bison will have a big decision to make here. Harris has had a couple of missed punts, unfortunately. Not missed punts, but just missed hits on the punts, with him being the kicker for the Bison here tonight. Some of them have taken a good Bison bounce. And we will have a timeout on the field taken by the Bison as they couldn't get the special teams unit figured out. This has been kind of an issue for both of these teams as they can't get the personnel needed on the field when they need them.
Yeah, there seems to be some confusion. And
but they'll get things figured out. They always do.
Well, sometime before midnight, I hope.
No. 6:35 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. (25-13) your score. Bison over the Tigers.
And if you listen, you can just hear some pretty colorful language being utilized in the communication process down there on the Bison sideline. But again, we're not in high school, so.
Right. All right. Whistle is blown, getting us back underway. Moore set up to punt this one away. He gets a hold of this one, end over end. First bounce at around the 37-yard line. Takes a Bison bounce, and it's at the 20. Finally scooped up and breaks out of the arm tackle at the 15, making his way all the way around the far side of the field and gets tripped up. The ball is down, and the Bison have the ball again.
That was an ill-advised decision, in my opinion. Number 5, Jarvis Deontay Elder picks up that ball and tries to run with it.
The far sideline judge is saying that the Tiger player was down. The Bison players are disagreeing completely as they saw the ball squirt out, but this is one of those situations we don't have instant replay. Can't throw a red flag out there to dispute it.
Still, what I'm saying is
we have instant replay. We just don't have the red flag to dispute it.
Well, what I'm saying is when Elder picked up the ball right down here, right around the 15, he should have fallen on the ball right there instead of picking it up and trying to run all the way across field with it.
He did manage to get it up to the 20.
Well, that could have, as we just saw, that could have been disaster, though.
Justin Jordan with 4 wide and a single back. Here comes the defense. Jordan steps up, finally releases. It's a little lob pass. No, it can't get it to his wide receiver's hands. Number 2, Raymond Jones, the intended target. Stops the clock at 5:53.
Let's go 2-7. I think
Trying to
one
see who 2-7 is. I don't know if he's cheering for defense or offense.
that would be on the Bison defense, the outside linebacker right there.
Same setup as before for the Tigers. And Jordan holds it on to it again. Looking near side, has a man caught at the 32-yard line. That'll be good for Tiger first down.
And you see there 2-7, not real happy with himself. He felt like he could have done better on that play, possibly gotten an interception. I would name him, but there is no 2-7 on the roster.
Yep, we got a 26 and a 28 and a 25.
Now,
5 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter and counting. The Tigers, who started this drive on their own 20, has found a way to get a new set of downs here on their own 32. Jordan with the snap, hands it off again. Big run this time, and a big tackle. The ball is loose. It rolls out of bounds, and that is all due to the gigantic hit by number 6, Jamari Perry. Excuse me.
Like, we're going to watch that hit again.
Oh, my
that was
goodness,
amazing.
Please, that was amazing. This is a beautiful. That was just a good open field tackle. That, I tell you right now, Perry needs to go to a few schools and give clinics on how to tackle in the open field, because there's still way too many people that don't know how to do that at much higher levels than this.
Yeah, number 6, Jamari Perry. That's like the 4th time we've called his name tonight.
He is blowing it up tonight.
He is all over the place, yeah.
Again, Jordan having to use his legs, extending the play, overthrows his intended target. Ball falls out of bounds for an incomplete pass. And stops the clock at 4:08.
I was thinking that. I think the receiver was out of bounds in any case, so.
Justin Jordan and the Tigers doing a good job with this drive. Sputtering here and there, but ultimately finding a way to keep the drive alive. Under 4 minutes now left to go in the third quarter. Jordan with the handoff. No, keeps it. Looking downfield, has a man, and over the head of his intended target, number 1. That was Taig Fulton.
Defended very well by the defender, Justin Doherty, number 29.
Three and a half minutes left now here in the third quarter, excuse me. I tried to go back in time. I almost said first half. I usually make time try to go
make time fly.
I mean,
like we're having fun, right?
I have a bad habit of saying here until the ball game's over, and we're being the first quarter still. But now I just tried to reverse time a little bit as Justin Jordan bobbles the snap. He's in trouble in the backfield, gets rid of it on an ill-advised pass. Defended nicely at around the 43-yard line, which is right about the line of scrimmage. So the 3rd and 10 will become 4th and 10 for the Tigers.
I mean, that was a pretty nasty hit right there. We talked about big hits. You said ill-advised pass, but I guess it was let it go or take the sack. So he was about to become the proverbial quarterback snack.
A little inside humor here.
Full credit to a mutual colleague of ours, Mr.
Right.
Merle Bertrand, who coined that phrase.
Quarterback snack.
We were at a game in Houston, actually, a parochial school game, St. Pius X High School in the Houston area. And he also, they were the St. Pius Panthers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he got it all mixed up and called them the St. Panther.
St.
Panthers, yeah. So we
Merle doesn't do that too often either. He's a very good broadcaster. He doesn't get his tongue messed up a little bit. And this one will take a Tiger bounce, recovered at the 12-yard line and taken back to about the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. So that'll only be about a 5-yard return for the Bison.
Devonta Jones looked like he had a shot at maybe being able to break that out, but he just couldn't hurdle the second man.
Well, I like what he did there. He saw that ball was going to basically just keep bouncing the Tigers' way, so he was either scoop it up or let them pin them back inside the 5. So I like what he did, and the ability to get a few yards on the return helps as well. Plus, he held onto the ball, so that's it.
And not every player could do that. Not every player could manage that. Some players would have dropped the ball. Some would have bobbled it. So if you've got really sure hands like he does, it's a good move.
Harris comes out. 3 wide receivers, and if I'm not mistaken, that's Eric Love in the backfield, as he is making his first appearance since that big run in the second quarter. The snap and the handoff does go to Love as he's out and he'll get gobbled up. He'll take a 2-yard loss, almost a 3-yard loss, as his defense recognizes that Love was out there, so they kind of figured that he was going to get the touch of the rock.
Yeah, and they're gonna key on him, that's for sure.
Defense is having a little bit of a dispute with themselves out there. Safeties are trying to talk to their defensive backs. Defensive backs aren't really understanding what their safeties are trying to tell them. And now Harris comes out with 4 wide, and the protection breaks down. He tries to make something happen. He gets back to the 13-yard line. It will be a loss on the play. Harris did a good job of stepping up, though. He was back behind the 10 when he first started feeling the pressure. So you're looking at a 3rd and long for our Bison as they are trying to get out of the end zone, being right on their backside. Empty backfield for Harris. And the offense is able to hold, and that's a beautiful catch by Love at the 40. Gets tripped up and goes out of bounds. Fantastic job by Love to bring that catch in. He gets past the defenders and gets his Bison a new set of downs with 48 seconds of counting left in the 3rd quarter.
As we watch that play once again. Let's see if we can get through this before we need to get back to live. There it is.
Lost it a little bit, but good job by Love to bring that one in. Better job by Harris to see that Love had gotten past the defenders and was in the open field.
And better job on pass protection that time as well.
See if they can repeat the process. 1st and 10 from the 49. Handoff to Love. He dances it back inside. He bounces it inside the hashes. Now he's running up the numbers. Taken down at the 38-yard line, and that'll be another 1st down for the Bison. That also ends the 3rd quarter. The Bison leading at 25-13 over the Tigers, doing a phenomenal job. 4th quarter is just about to begin. 15 minutes on the clock. We'll swap ends of the field. The Bison will maintain control of the football.
There we go, 4th quarter. Now we can bring it into the booth here for just a second. All right.
And we got a squat.
I don't have the chair.
I don't have the
up in.
That's all right.
But in the 3rd quarter, we saw some improvements. Thank you.
Of course.
We saw a lot of improvement there in that 3rd quarter in both the pass protection and also in what am I looking for here? On the defensive side of the ball as well for the Bison. Still getting that great penetration and unfortunately giving up the long pass, though, for the touchdown to the Tigers.
Yeah, they still are playing some phenomenal football, doing a great job on defense. The offensive line, they have come together a little bit better in this 3rd quarter, and they have protected Harris a lot more in these, especially these last 2 drives. So we'll see what happens as the whistle blows things to get things started here again to begin the fourth quarter. 15 minutes on the clock. Bison leading at 25-13. A new set of downs to work with off the great run play by Love to end that third quarter. Love stays in the backfield. He's going to get a handoff again. Keeps it in the middle, and a flag comes flying in late. Love goes down at the 34-yard line, so until we see what the penalty is, he's currently holding a 4-yard carry on that one. It is going to go against the Bison, so the 4-yard run is negated, and we will repeat first down.
So I want to thank everybody who's joined us here tonight for Capital City Bison's football, excuse me. At the end of this, we'll do a quick wrap up and get on out of here.
Let everybody start their weekend if they haven't already. That will be a 10-yard loss to the Bison, so that was a holding call. It looks like it happened right after the start of the play. So now Harris will bring his offense back out after the penalty. 3 wide. Love in the backfield. The snap. And the pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage. Bounced off the hands of number 45, I believe. That is Jermaine Francis. Got his big old paw up there and knocked the ball down. Made it possible for Tiger to possibly even get in there and get an interception, but it didn't work out. Incomplete pass makes 1st and 18, 2nd and 18. Four wide, the snap to Harris, and dumps it off to Love, and off the fingertips of Love, and almost scooped up right before it hit the turf. Number 15 for the Tigers. I was all over that. Denarius Brisbane was in the vicinity and almost made a fingertip interception for the Tigers. Third and 18 now for the Bison. Five wide, empty backfield, and a timeout comes in late, right as the snap of the ball happens for the Bison. That will take the Bison, I believe, down to 2 timeouts remaining in the half. Oh, excuse me, it's the Tigers who take a timeout.
Timeout.
Nope,
Tigers.
it was the Bison. It was the Bison.
Was
who
the-
now have one timeout left.
We're sure.
For sure.
All right.
13:52 left to go in the game. Looking at a 12-point ball game. So time running out very, very quickly for the Tigers, and time can't go fast enough for the Bison.
Well, time is definitely on their side, but what they can't afford to do, of course, and, pardon me if I'm stating the obvious, but they cannot afford to let the Tigers score again.
Yeah, and the Tigers' defense has done a fairly good job of stepping it up here in the second half. They haven't played quite to the level that the Bison's defense is at, but they have definitely stepped things up here in the second half.
I mean, a Tigers touchdown would make it 21.
Yeah.
21-25. I mean, 2-point conversion, it becomes a 1-score ball game. And still plenty of time for all of the above to happen.
Well, luckily, we're on the offensive side of things right now. We just have a big third down to get through here. 3rd and 18 and an empty backfield for Harris. The snap. Offensive line unable to hold. Harris is in trouble. He'll go down at the 43. And 3rd and 18 will become 4th and Salado.
Salado.
Yeah, way north. Harris not real happy. You can tell by the body language. Momentum shifting back in the direction of the Tigers a little bit here as we wind down to 13 minutes even.
So, yeah, I'm trying to bring the Bison schedule up onto the screen, but it's not importing real well. So, we'll just go ahead and run down the schedule, upcoming schedule for you in between plays.
And after the punt, it'll take a Bison bounce. Goes all the way inside the 10-yard line before the Bison able to put it blow it dead at the 7. So phenomenal job by the quarterback, Josh Harris. Struggled a few times here with punting duties, but that one was absolute beauty. 12:36 left to go here in the ball game. Bison 25, Tigers 13.
So following this game tonight, and hopefully I'm not too presumptuous in calling it a win. Oh, God. Well, as Cam, I tend to no. I mean, if all continues, the Bison will take a win out of here tonight. Come out of this game 2-1. They'll be headed to play the Austin Vipers at their place next Friday night. Have a bye on the 16th, and then we'll see everybody back here against the CTX Yellow Jackets on April 23rd.
Now we're back on
On April 30th.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
STX Outlaws.
the STX Outlaws.
Yeah.
I was not hired for this job based on my reading skills. Okay.
Well, I
let's
can't
just make
pronounce.
that-
I can't
let's
pronounce names, and you can't read. So between the two of us, we're absolutely a dime, aren't we? 12 and a half minutes left to go. First.
2 nickels.
Exactly. I'm glad you got that. 12 and a half minutes left to go here in the ball game. 25-13 your score. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers after the punt. First play blows it up for no gain. Great job by this Bison defense, just doing what they've been doing all night long. Justin Jordan with 4 wide and a single back in the backfield. A little confusion by this offense. A delay handoff goes nowhere because the Bison read that one perfectly. Again, back to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. Clock is still winding, 12:20 and counting. 3rd and 10 now, and I'm really kind of surprised that, I mean, I know that the Tigers don't want to give up on the run game, but when you're trailing by 12 and you're running the ball, I mean, and again, I get its position too. You're inside the 10-yard line, so you don't
Right.
want to get your quarterback in a who's had to use his legs almost every single time tonight. As you know, the Tigers have done a little fun stuff here. They've brought Thomas Arnold Jr. back in the game, but is in a wide receiver position while putting Justin Jordan back there at quarterback. Arnold Jr., of course, playing quarterback earlier in the first half. Here's the snap, 3rd and long, and finally gets rid of it, but overthrows his intended target. So that'll bring up 4th and 10, and another great job by this Bison defense.
He safely avoided a safety there. Just a quick comment, too. I was counting the crowd earlier. It looks like, I'd say we've got about, maybe between 200 and 300 here, if you count everybody out there, which is not a lot in a big high school football stadium in Texas. But, what do you see out there, man? You see families out there.
Exactly.
And if you are looking for some good family entertainment on a Friday night, this is probably one of the few places you can actually afford to take a family of 3 or 4 too.
Absolutely. You got a food truck out front. They've got nachos, hot dogs, snow cones. Nicholas was actually a little upset because during the halftime break he was standing in line to get a snow cone after the bathroom break, and he didn't get his snow cone because we had to come back to work.
Welcome to the world, my friend. Welcome to the real world.
Yeah. So after the Tiger punt, the Bison will take over on their own 40-yard, they will take over on the Tiger 40-yard line. So not a great punt by the Tigers, but it sets up the Bison with great field position.
So with 11:24 left in the game, and basically it's a 2-score ball game right now. Do the Bisons try to put an insurance touchdown on the scoreboard, or just work the clock and take the W.
Yeah, see, I think there's too much time on the clock. Just over 11 minutes left.
So
got
you
got
want
a
the
short
insurance.
Field. Yeah, you got the short field to work with too. I'd definitely go for the insurance, and this is the guy to do it. Eric Love almost got grabbed up in the backfield, works his way out of that tackle, and scampers all the way up to the 30-yard line for a new set of downs. Beautiful 10-yard run by Love.
I think the Bisons really missed him in the second quarter.
I think they did, too.
It's really good to have him back.
They really did adapt well, bringing in the 3 running back system between Alvin Smith, Kaylin Bright, and I believe it was number 28, Tamarian Moore. Those 3 guys really did a beautiful job, and they'll probably keep leaning on them. But you can tell that when Love is healthy, he's the guy that's going to be on the field as your starter. 3 wide. Harris directing traffic at the last minute, takes a high snap, dumps it off on a quick pass at the 30, caught and goes out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. Great catch by number 6, Jamari Perry. Actually, see, this is another situation where we have 2 number 6s like we have 2 number 13s. We call a number 6 on the defensive side is Jamari Perry, but I believe this number 6 is our Jamari Perry on the offensive side. Offensive unit comes back out on the field, or breaks the huddle, I should say. 10.5 minutes left to go in the game. 3 wide, single back is Love. The snap, and fakes the handoff to Love. He'll stay in the backfield to block. Chunks a beautiful pass far side, but there's no one there to catch it, and that was some of the best protection that this offensive line has given Harris all night long. Harris saw something in his receivers out there, but unfortunately couldn't make the connection he needed to make. So now we will be looking at a third and 4 for our Bison. Clock stopped at 10:20 after the incomplete pass. Same setup as before for the Bison. Love in the backfield, 4 wide. Harris in trouble. Dumps it off to Love on a quick screen pass. He's going to make 3 or 4 Bison or Tigers miss him at the line of scrimmage. Finally goes out of bounds around the 15 or 16-yard line, and that'll be good for another Bison first down. Love, with his escapability and his elusiveness, has done a fantastic job in the backfield and being off the field for the last quarter and a half or so due to some injury or whatever it may have been.
Right.
Has it did affect this offense, and having him back out there has affected this offense in a very positive way as well. I like what the Bison are doing. They're doing a little bit of both of what you and I mentioned, Kevin. They're still eating up the clock, but they're eating up this short field at the same time. So
they'll just slowly eat that short field.
Yeah, they working on about a 3-minute drive right now as a flag comes in
from the defensive backfield.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we got some holding back there.
Love makes it up to around the 10-yard line, so this will be about a 5 or 6 yard gain.
Oh, good job, Zach. Focus in on the ref. Let's see what he's got to say.
It is a holding call going against the Bison, unfortunately, so that'll back us up. Negates the run, but we'll still have a first down. So 1st and 10 will become 1st and 18, 19?
I think so, yeah.
Make that 1st and 20.
Yeah.
1st and 20. Thought the holding call came after we got a couple of yards, but apparently it happened right at the line of scrimmage, right at the handoff. 9.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Harris happy to take as much time as possible. barking out some last-minute orders because the Tigers look like they're going to bring the whole house.
Yeah, I've noticed they don't use the play clock.
No, I'm sure the referees are keeping track of it, as Bright is going to have a lot of room to work with on the far side, up the sideline. He finally gets shoved out of bounds inside the 5.
I
There's
think it's
a
coming
flag
back, though.
all the way back here
Yeah.
at around the 25-yard line, though. So Bright, with that big run on the far side, that gets the Bison inside the 5, will more than likely have to come all the way back. So not only did Bright do a great job of getting the 10 yards back on the holding call, he ended up with what would have been about a 22, 23-yard run.
Yeah, I'm going back through trying to see where the holding took place.
Now we'll have another holding call called against the Bison, which will back them up even further.
Yeah.
So 1st and 20 now becomes 1st and 30. The only good thing about this is that we're still in 1st down, so we can try to just wiggle our way down to maybe field goal territory, eat as much of this clock as possible.
So would you say this is 1st and Belton?
Nah, not quite that bad. Maybe. Harris with a great job stepping up in the pocket, and a more beautiful job by number 6, Jamari Perry, who's going to go into the end zone after spinning out of a tackle in the middle of the field on a 1st and 30 play. The Capital City Bison get into the end zone and stretch the lead out 31-13 with 8.5 minutes left to go in the game.
And there you see the replay of that touchdown. Man, that was sweet.
What a beautiful spin move to get out of that tackle. Even if he wouldn't have gotten out of the tackle and it would have been taken down at around the 20-yard, whenever that spin move had somewhere around the 20-yard line or so, it would have put the Bison well inside the field goal range. They could have still stretched out the lead.
Right.
But instead, and that was just 1st down. They would have still had 2-3
That
more
play
downs
was
to work
worthy of a repeat of a replay, even without the touchdown. So
there have been, that makes for it. Oh, the low field goal or the extra point attempt is no good.
Did somebody get a hand on it, or?
No, the kicker just unfortunately didn't get underneath it and sent it right into the special teams unit right in front of him.
Ow.
So somebody's going to have some
sore bottom?
Yeah, sore bottom or some laces tattooed on their backside somewhere. They'll notice those later.
That's a pleasant image.
8.5 minutes left to go here in the ball game. Bison leading at 31-13 after the missed extra point attempt. And the Bison will set up to kick it off to the Tigers.
Well, this is a commanding lead for the Bison now, but with 8 minutes and 25 seconds, if the Tigers play it right, they could still come back.
Yeah, they really could.
So it's too soon, really too soon to count the eggs yet, or the chickens.
Get me inside 5 minutes, and then I'll start feeling a little bit better.
Still feeling a little bit better about that.
A little bit better. But with 8.5, yeah, that's still a lot of time. That's a lot of football time. Tigers still have 2 timeouts also, so yeah.
Nice close-up shot there from the Nick Cam.
And the kickoff is underway. It's a low end-over-end kick. Bounces at the 19, scooped up at the 13, and taken forward to about the 28-yard line by number 7, Christopher Evans. I just realized they have Chris Evans on their football team. They have Captain America on their football team.
Oh, that's nice. I watched a movie with him in it last night. It was not total non-Marvel movie. His character was cussing up a blue streak.
Was it Knives Out?
Yes.
Yep.
I love that movie.
It's a good movie. Really good movie. Yeah.
Who done it?
He drops the S-bomb in it a few times, and it's like the first time he cusses, I think, in a movie since he's been doing the Marvel film. So it was like the shocker to everybody.
Who done it? Captain America done it. Oh, darn. I just wrote. Sorry for the spoilers, everybody.
1st and 10 for the Tigers after the kickoff from their own 29-yard line. So 71 yards to try to find pay dirt with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the ball game. Justin Jordan back in at quarterback, tosses it out quickly on a little screen pass. It's going to go nowhere. Maybe 2 yards is what the refs looks like they're going to give him. So that'll be only a 2-yard gain for the Tigers off the hands of none other than Chris. No, that's 17, not 7, sorry. 17 is Stephen Mitchell. So 2nd and 8 now for the Tigers on their own 32-yard line. Same setup. Jordan again at quarterback. Another pass on the near side this time. Exact same play. This time it's going to go for a lot more yards. Number 5 on the reception this time, Jarvis Elder, is going to get a first down for the Tigers. Again, a nice open field tackle by the Bison.
And we called Elder's name not too long ago on that almost ill-fated kickoff return. Or was it a punt? Excuse me.
Punt.
Yeah.
First and 10 for the Tigers from their own 49-yard line, 4 wide. And Jordan's in trouble. He's going to use those feet that he's done so well with all night long. Far side. He's going to get he stays in bounds. Looked like he was going to run out of bounds right at the first down marker. He decided to stay in, gets 2 or 3 more. He gets up to the Bison 38-yard line.
Almost decides to challenge the defender straight on, and then kind of takes the better part of valor and steps out.
Yeah, he already did his job by getting the first down. There's no
Right.
reason to take an unnecessary hit.
Exactly. Why take pain? You don't have to.
Clock is still winding at 6:15 and counting. Tigers are playing with some urgency here, 4 wide. Again, Jordan staying in at quarterback. Has time. No, he's in trouble, and a big sack back at the 45-yard line will set up a 2nd and long for the Central Texas Tigers. Great job by this Bison defense. Number 25 all over him. That is Dimitri Bowie.
Yeah, I was trying to get a replay on that. Didn't look like the system caught it.
Yeah.
But, man, that was sweet.
Bowie came in there with a jetpack on, man. He had some speed, and that is not easy to do against Jordan. Justin Jordan is very, very fast. We've seen it all night long, and for the fact that they were able to catch him in the backfield, that was a beautiful job by the defense. Great job by Dimitri. And Jordan again's in trouble, slips out of a tackle, but not the second one, is number 4. That is Gerald Johnson comes in for a sack of his own. So Dimitri Bowie and Gerald Johnson with back-to-back sacks sets up a 3rd and Austin.
There we go. We just got the replay of the second sack. Looking good.
4.5 minutes left to go in the ball game, and now I'm starting to feel like the Bison
So
have
now,
things
now you
well
feel a little
in
more
control,
secure.
especially after those 2 big sacks. Absolutely. Defense. 4:15 left on the clock now. New quarterback in for the Tigers. That's Chris Evans. Nope, excuse me. He's in the backfield. It's still Jordan that's in the quarterback position. A flag comes in right at the end of the play.
Nobody seems to know. Was it an interference call?
I'm thinking based on where it's at, I'm thinking it's going to be holding by the Tigers. Excuse me.
Yeah. There just seemed to be like in the intended receiver's attitude just seemed to be like a not me. I what, you know.
Yeah, head coach for the Bison have declined the penalty because that had given a replay of 3rd down.
Right.
So he will take the 4th down instead.
Well, okay, there we go. I was about to say chain gang showing 3. There's 4.
4:02 left to go in the game.
So this is going to be 4th and
26.
Wow.
Now the special teams unit for the Tigers is making its way out on the field, as well as a young man carrying a balloon. They had to turn him around and put him back out on the sideline.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, he was right about the 35. He's still over there on the far sideline, right about the 37, 38. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, he walked right out on the field with the football players carrying his balloon.
It's a family game.
Numazawa will fake the punt. He's set up to throw, steps up, and now he's going to take off running. He's going to use his legs. As long as he's got the blockers in front of him, he'll get the first, and he's going to go down shy. 1 yard shy of the first down on a huge 4th down play. 25 yards. He needed 26, and with 3:48 left to go in the ball game, the Bison will take over. Holy cow, what a play. There have been 3 or 4 really big blow-up plays in this ball game here tonight, and at least I would have to say there have been, I mean, by even Steven, by both these teams who have put up big plays.
As we watch that once again, you can see incredible footwork by that gentleman, dodging tackles left and right. I know that's the other team, man, but a sweet play, you got to replay it.
Mazawa set up to look like he was going to find an open receiver downfield. He didn't see anything, and instead of throwing a questionable pass, he decided he was going to tuck it and run, and almost got himself and his team a huge first down with 3:48 left to go in the game. And now is
when the Bisons want to play conservative and keep the ball and run out the clock.
And the Tigers have to call a timeout because they were having personnel issues again. Couldn't get the right guys out on the field to play defense. So they'll get things figured out on defense while the offense will get an opportunity to send a couple of players out that they didn't intend to start on this drive. But it looks like they'll take advantage of the opportunity to maybe change things up a little bit. Number 13, Connor, who I've been calling Kokik all night, is out on the field. Looks like he's going to be in a wide receiver's position.
We continue to work to get things sorted out.
Tiger fan base not giving up on this defense. They are screaming and hollering. Number 5 with the carry as he is scooped up in the backfield. Alvin Smith had nowhere to go. He was trying to direct traffic and get a couple of blocks in front of him, but he had to slow up in order to make that happen. Defense took advantage, and they'll take the hit. Or, excuse me, they'll get the tackle 1 yard shy of the line of scrimmage. So 1st and 10 will become 2nd and 11. Clock is counting down, 3:19 and counting. Alvin Smith will stay in the backfield as running back. He will get the handoff, bounces it out far side. He's got a couple of blockers in front and close to a first down. Still on his feet, goes down at around the 35, 36 yard line. And a late flag right as the whistle blows, thrown by the head ref. Might have been a little extracurricular activity.
I say we don't. Don't want to see things get real chippy here at the end.
Tigers still playing hard. It looks like this. Is this going to be another penalty against the Bison?
I think so.
It sure looks like it. Yep, they are marking it off against the Bison, and that happened literally after the whistle had blown. So
Wow.
that's going to be
that
gonna
is
be
a full
15-yarder.
15. Yeah.
That's going to be an unsportsman, whatever it was. So what was very close to a first down and a manageable third
Now becomes 3rd and 20.
Yeah.
Looks like 3rd and, well,
19.
19. There's the PA announcer says 17, but
Well, you know,
what's a yard or two among friends?
in football it's a lot.
Yeah.
3 wide. Harris takes a snap. Good protection. Releases far side and overthrows his intended target as both the defender and the wide receiver go up and try for it. And a little pushing and shoving at the end of it as the defensive back was being mouthy. And a flag comes in late. The defender was being held back by his coaching staff after he got shoved by the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, I believe, was number 12, Dawson Tamaz, excuse me. Just looking for the head ref so we get the call here. There he is.
So maybe that.
And here's the call.
No, it's on the Bison.
It is going to go against the Bison because he did the shove. The other
Yeah.
guy was mouthing, but the Bison player, unfortunately, was the one that got physical, so they're going to back the Bison up even further. So they are going to, I think we will be looking at 4th and who knows right now? That's a lot. 4th and a lot. Is that an actual football term? Can we
let's
use
see,
that?
20, yeah.
They're showing 22 on the
22
clock.
on the clock. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's more than 22, but close enough. The Bison will
More
be
like
punting out of
28 or 29.
Yeah, the Bison will be punting out of their own end zone, unless they decide to go for a fake. But not that you'd want to, but you could afford to give up a safety or, God forbid, a touchdown here
Yeah,
if
they
the
could
ball
afford
turned
it.
over.
They could afford it. I wouldn't want to. You
No, you wouldn't want to, but
don't want to give away free points. And a little confusion on the field.
as is Josh Harris, he's going to punt then?
Yeah, he's been punting
Okay.
all night. So it looks like the Bison are going to take their 3rd and final timeout of the half. So 2 minutes and 10 seconds away from ending this ball game. The Bison are going to punt this one away at 4th and 22 according to the clock. But it looks more like 4th and 25 or 27 to me. Looks like 28. So what did you make that? 4th and Waco?
Waco.
Yeah, I like that one. 4th and Waco. We saw the Tigers almost convert a 4th and 25.
By the time that lands, we can go meet at Magnolia for coffee in the morning. First thing in the
Right.
morning.
There you go. All right, after the timeout, we're ready to get things going again. 2:10 on the clock. Harris Takes a snap, and he punts this one end over end. It's high, though. It's not going to get the distance he wants. He does get a good bounce, and the Bison are there to protect it as it crosses the 50. So the Tigers will take over somewhere around the 45-yard line on their own side of the field.
And with under 2 minutes to go, this could possibly be their last possession of the game.
Yeah, this is where you maybe try a couple of plays that's in the playbook that you don't normally play. You know, maybe a couple of trick plays that you got lined up your sleeve.
Some trickeration.
Some trickeration. Some good old trickeration to try to get into the end zone. 55 yards to get there and 1:55 on the clock. Let's see, and one timeout. So it's possible.
It's possible, but there is no time. There is not enough time to come back from this deficit.
No, not enough time to come back from the deficit. I was just saying time enough to get another score on the board.
It's 1968 Joe Namath this play. He couldn't pull it off.
That's true. I don't think these Bisons are going to let him score a touchdown, by the way. It doesn't matter how much the defense has just played too well. They've only given up 2 touchdowns here today. They've been in the backfield a lot, breaking up passes, making the quarterback run, which, by the way, we are looking at Justin Jordan again back in at quarterback. And number 12, almost picked off at around the 50-yard line. Number 29 had a hand on it for just a second for our Bison. That was Justin Daughtery. It is going to be a first down catch for the Tigers as they get to the Bison 45-yard line.
As we take another quick look at that pass, and almost interception.
Tigers trying to get the offense lined up and ready to go. 2 backs in the backfield. Jordan with the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it to the center of the field on the post route and broken up. Great job by the Bison to break up that pass.
Nice and clean as well. No flag or anything on that. Very well played by the defender.
Stops the clock at 1:22 and brings up 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Jordan bobbles the snap.
Whoa.
He's back at the 45, and he's going to get hit and taken down at the 42. That will be a huge loss for the Tigers. And a great job by the Bison scrambling and getting loose off their blockers to get some pressure on Justin Jordan, who was unable to keep that snap. Bobbled it. It was a little high. It wasn't completely unmanageable, but it was a little high. I think Jordan was looking toward the line to make sure he wasn't getting any pressure. Took his eyes off the ball for a second.
Actually, as you can see in the replay, well, I know you can't at the moment, but you look at the replay, you can see that's exactly what happened.
Clock is still ticking. 35 seconds, more than likely the last play of the game unless the Tigers use their final timeout. The snap. And the throw, far side, the distance, and intercepted by the Bison at the 13-yard line. Stops the clock at 18 seconds, and that is the proverbial nail in the coffin for sure as the Bison intercept the long pass. And with only 18 seconds left to go, Josh Harris has the easiest job in the world right now. All he has to do is go out there, take a snap, and take a knee. 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and consistent pressure by this defense is the reason why the Bison have come out here today with this win.
And we see this, there's the pass, and boom, picked off by, did we ever get his number?
I didn't get to see who it was.
Doesn't, not even, well, he knows who he is. So 18 seconds. It's victory formation time now.
Oh, yeah. And the clock is ticking. After Harris takes the knee, and that'll be the ball game. Congratulations to the Capital City Bison defending the home turf against the Central Texas Tigers, taking the win 31-13, going to 2-1 on the season. Defense, defense, defense. That is what did it for the Central Texas Tigers as far as what was the cause of their downfall here tonight. The quarterback play by the Tigers was phenomenal. Don't get me wrong here. They did a great job of extending plays with their feet. But when it came down to it, the Bison defense they're just too on top of everything. They knew what they needed, where they needed to be all night long. Ball hawks in the secondary, and just great heads-up play to always keep an eye on the ball. I mean, 2 fumble recoveries, especially the one that was shot up the sideline. That was a rocket that was going up the sideline. So number 6, whichever number 6 it was at the time. I know we've been saying
we've been saying number 6,
Perry, but I think Jamari Perry was on the offensive side of the ball tonight, but
as well.
Yeah, so it was just a phenomenal night for the defense. Offense obviously did a good job as well, putting 31 points on the board. But I think when you watch this game, you're going to see what the defense did.
And I think we talk about we don't know which number 6 that was. You know who you are.
That's exactly
and
right.
we both know you're going to watch this
and you're going to be very
later.
Proud of that.
So you will see, and you will know who you are, and you're going to be very proud of that. And hopefully you're going to take a clip of that and put it on your reel and go someplace with it. So, hey, very proud of these Capital City Bison tonight. Also very proud of our crew, of course, yourself, Daniel Chance Chancellor, and our camera operators,
Zachary Langley and Nicholas Pavlik. Yep.
Zach and Nick did a great job as well. Also want to thank the Jeremy and Lewis, Capital City Bison owner and vice president, for having us out here to do these games this season. And we look forward to joining you again in 3 weeks.
Yeah, April 30th,
April 30th.
Here against the
South Texas Yellow Jackets, I think.
South Texas Yellow Jackets.
All right, so we'll see you then. Until then, we'll give you one last look at the field as we get ready to sign off. For my broadcast partner, Daniel Chance Chancellor, and, of course, Nick and Zach, our camera operators tonight, and everybody who's been a part of this one. I want to say good night as your Capital City Bison win this one against the CTX Tigers by a score of 31-13.